Hey, audio go 11 o'clock. Also transition to here o'clock. Wait.
Why did you set it up so it looks like we've been run over by the hex bug exactly?
Because in a tragic accident, Shepard was actually run over by a hex bug.
Oh, and she's just been unconscious for 2 weeks? Is that the narrative we're going for?
Yeah, something like that. Actually, funny story. I don't know how or why, but somehow, while we were gone, the PS4 lost power, but nothing else did.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how that happened.
Meaning what?
Well, meaning nothing because we saved before we left, but like, I got back and it was like fully turned off, and it was shouting at me about like making sure that you powered the thing down correctly. I was like, you were on when I left, and nothing else is powered off. So like,
So maybe it had a panic attack?
maybe I don't know.
Well, I got kitty pictures back from Bio already.
What do you mean? Why'd you set it up to look like we got run over by the hex bug? That was literally the last thing that happened. Yeah. We literally were run over by the hex bug. I mean, this is fact.
Blep. Not a blep? I can't tell if that's a blep or not. I'm gonna assume it's a blep.
Okay, so previously, the crew begin their descent into the deep lab, only for Shepard to immediately get angry again upon realizing that both Rex and Liara have unilaterally decided to use assault rifles without her permission. Once Shepard has finished slapping them both upside the head, they choose to take a ride in a nearby elevator and are met by a handful of surviving security guards pointing guns toward them in the off chance that the giant murder spiders figured out how to operate an elevator. Shepard, of course, responds by scaring the absolute piss out of them all by firing a bunch of warning shots next to their heads before informing them that they legally can't be mad over it because she's a Spectre. She then decides to troll them all and Rax by feigning complete ignorance over what all the mysterious galaxy-ending murder spiders they've been shooting at are. The head security officer fortunately doesn't seem to pick up on Shepard's trolling and begins to inform the crew of what needs to be done to deal with the giant murder bugs, before a squad of said giant murder bugs then begin crawling out of the walls like a bunch of xenomorphs to try murdering everyone. With the giant murder bugs quickly set on fire, the crew then headed further into the safe area to see what the surviving scientists know, only to be met by a tremendously unhelpful Asari named Alestia, who kinda goes out of her way to be an antagonistic bitch to Shepard for no real reason. Hey, do you know anything about Liara's mom? No, why would I? Why don't you ask your friend back there if she does, if you need to know so badly? Why would Liara know anything about Liara's mom? The crew then wanders around talking to some more scientists, only for Shepard to be completely speechless for once after hearing one of them offhandedly mention having needed to wash the brains of one of his friends off of himself after the Rachni broke out. Shepard then tries very hard to not think about having actually felt an emotion for someone other than anger by going to poke a nearby security guard in the face for not believing she's a Spectre, as he desperately tries to make her just leave him alone. Shepard then talks to the only survivor of the hot labs, and Willow finds it necessary to ask if this still-living Volus was the owner of the brain that the other scientists had to wash off in the shower. Shepard then finds the scientist who actually shows her gratitude for the work she's been doing here so far, before then casually mentioning that he was working on a bioweapon that is now killing some of the scientists down here after they were exposed to it on accident. As if the giant murder spiders weren't already doing enough of that as is. Liara says that making a bioweapon with such a wide range of viable targets is unethical, without realizing that bioweapons by default are almost a perfect 100 out of 100 on the scale of evil science experiments.
Accurate.
Shepard then goes to the head of the security again and asks for his permission to go into the quarantine zone to get a cure for the infected scientists, and keeps nagging him about it until he eventually relents and gives her crew permission to go catch super cancer if she's going to be so annoying about it. The crew then head over to the quarantine zone, and Shepard spends a while pouring random chemicals into different vials to make a cure for the infected scientists, while persistently brushing off the help of the trained medical specialist Liara. Upon somehow fumbling her way into mixing up a viable cure sample, Shepard isn't surprised at all upon turning around to find that asshole Asari Alestia from before is now holding her crew at gunpoint, with the help of a bunch of the Geth infiltrators Liara's mom brought with her. The secret Asari assassin Alestia and her Geth hit squad are swiftly dealt with in less than 5 seconds. No clue what the hell their plan even was, to be honest. And Shepard steps over the now very dead body of the security guard she was poking in the face earlier, so she can return to Mr. Bioweapon to give him the cure sample she somehow made so he can stop the infected scientists from dying horrible deaths. The crew then go back to wandering around the labs for a while until they eventually end up running into Liara's mom completely on accident. Venezia then wonders what the hell Shepard was planning by bringing Liara with her here, only for Shepard to respond by saying the rest of the crew would have yelled at her for missing content if she didn't. Venezia then summons a dozen Asari commandos to kill the crew, and a couple dozen Geth jobbers after that when Rex quickly launched them all across the room with his super shotgun. Not sure why she thought the walking flashlights would stop us when the trained assassins couldn't. Watching her goons get wrecked so hard managed to temporarily snap Liara's mom out of the mind control she's apparently been under this whole time, as she then begins to explain that Saren's ship can apparently bend people's minds to follow his will. Something something Starforge, something something space magic. Not long after this, the mind control kicks back in, which causes Benezia to think that the best course of action after watching the crew kill several dozen highly trained super commandos would be to just solo the crew herself. Spoilers, this was not, in fact, a good idea. Benezia then gets bitch slapped clear across the room by Rex's super shotgun after Liara turned off her gravity using her Jedi powers, and Liara is then very sad that her mom is now super dead. Shepard then goes off to solemnly stare at the really big Rachni Liara's mom was standing in front of as she thinks to herself about how she just lost her best lead on figuring out who Liara's dad is. She's so consumed by this thought, she somehow doesn't notice one of the very dead Asari commandos get back up off the ground and begin zombie walking its way toward her. Shepard eventually notices the literal zombie and pulls a gun on it after it bumps into her, only for it to then start talking in a strained voice as the really big Rachni begins using the corpse as a makeshift voice box to desperately ask Shepard to kill all of its insane Rachni children before they can get out of the lab. A slightly confused Shepard obviously agrees to murder all the spider children since their mom asked so nicely, which Rex naturally is totally down for. What Rex isn't down for is, in the slightest, is Shepard then agreeing to let the Rachni Queen go because the Queen hasn't personally slighted her yet, and sees no issue with letting the giant hell spider loose on the galaxy. On their way to vaporizing all of the remaining crazy Rachni children,
The spider was civil. Of course I didn't have issue with it.
the crew run into the scientist in charge of the incinerator, and for reasons unknown to everyone, Shepard elects to not warn him about the giant Rachni that was very clearly walking up behind him to put a coconut-sized hole through his chest. Once she retrieves the incinerator coach from the needlessly dead scientist, Shepard and her crew begin a mad sprint towards the incinerator, while Rex works off some stress by blasting his way through a small army of Rachni that was in their way. With the screams of 1,000 burning Rachni now recorded to give to Rex later as an apology, Shepard's mind once again drifts towards all of the shit she wasn't able to steal on their way back out of the labs as her eye begins to twitch. Once the squad finally makes it out of Spider Hell, they all head back to the Normandy for a mission debriefing with the rest of the crew, only for it to immediately get cut short when Ashley ruined the mood for everyone by being a racist ass toward Liara for no reason. Shepard then errs by telling Joker to not call up the council, as by doing so she prevented herself from being able to immediately hang up on them less than a second into the conversation. Shepard then takes some time to go around talking to the crew for a bit, to get over her crushing disappointment with the ship's vendor not selling any new super armor this rotation. Trying to strike up a friendly conversation with Rex leads to him telling a story that ends as most of his stories usually tend to, with him stabbing something to death. His backstabbing dickbag of a father being said pincushion in this instance. Shepard then tries speaking with Ashley. It would have just been too awkward to ignore her while using the equipment lockers, and is momentarily confused when Ashley calls Karth Caden for some reason instead of using his real name. Shepard then makes fun of Ashley's poetry hobby and tells her that her life story is boring as all hell before leaving to talk to people she actually gives a damn about. When trying to strike up a conversation with Garrus, Shepard surprisingly ends up finding herself involved in a story about a fucked up Solarian scientist who'd used live subjects as cloning beds for black market organs. She actually ends up so invested in this story that she actually volunteers to help Garrus track the bastard down after hearing that he managed to get away because of police red tape. Granted, said red tape was them telling Garrus not to blow the guy's ship up in the middle of a crowded public docking bay, but still. Shepard then heads down to engineering to check on Tali and is thanked for not forcing her to go on yet another mission involving swarms of gigantic galaxy-destroying super spiders, since not doing that has made sleeping much easier for Tali. Probably best not to mention to her that we kinda let their queen make it out alive. Bio ends up having to write the rest of the notes from here on over Q week later. I assume that was meant to be a week. Because he was having trouble staying focused on them during the last third of the session.
Hey, not just me for once.
Shepard then moves up to the next floor of the Normandy to speak to Karth about the Novaria mission he didn't help with at all, and then begins to relentlessly flirt with him the second he shows any interest in her whatsoever. With her post-mission flirting now successfully completed, Shepard heads to the med bay to talk with Liara, since Karth made a pretty good point that she's probably not doing super great right now on account of having helped Turbo murder her mom. It turns out that consoling Liara over her incredibly super dead mom was actually pretty easy, as that whole issue is wrapped up in just a couple minutes of Shepard curiously saying, "Okay, but how about revenge though?" Only for Liara to keep reminding her that they were already going to kill Saren anyways, so adding "my mom is fucking dead" to the list of reasons would just be redundant. The conversation then pivots toward the two talking about how humans have the lifespan of a goldfish compared to most species in the galaxy, at which point Shepard has to explain to a misinformed Liara that she actually got her Spectre title by calling the Council a bunch of racist assholes on live television. No clue where she got it in her head that Shepard got the job because of her leadership abilities. Liara then shows that she completely misinterpreted what was going on that time when Shepard repeatedly asked a bunch of questions while in a sleep-deprived stupor and pulls a hard swerve into asking if Shepard would be up to having a romantic relationship with her. Understandably caught off guard by this sudden solicitation for Asari mind sex, Willow does the sensible thing of picking the line "I just want to be friends" the "I just want to be friends" option, only to be caught further off guard when Shepard essentially interpreted the prompt as "I will end you if you ever think to bring this up again, Liara."
This game's dialogue wheel is so inaccurate for what's actually said. Legitimately, if I were ever playing this on PC, I would find a mod to show me exactly what each option says.
It does have the Fallout 4 problem, yeah. Because, Fallout 4 has that issue, too.
Yes.
Where you've got, yes, no, and sarcasm. And yes is sometimes you being a dick. And sarcasm is just you always being a dick and never actually being sarcastic.
Yeah. Notice I have that mod installed for Fallout 4 too, which is why I'm positive there's one for this.
In a desperate attempt to not think about the unbearably awkward conversation she was just forced into, Shepard attempts to set course for the Normandy's next destination, only for Joker to inform her that the Council unfortunately ended up calling anyways, despite his best attempts to make fake static noises. With a deep sigh, Shepard reports to the big room and is subsequently put on blast by those losers for not putting up with their constant bullshit. Much shouting from both parties ensues before the Council eventually gets around to telling Shepard that shit is going down on Virmire and they'd like her to go deal with it as soon as possible. Shepard then tells him to go to hell and obviously decides she's going to do literally everything else first, purely out of spite, before going there. With Virmire now added to the list of Normandy's navigation... With Virmire now added to the Normandy's navigation blacklist, Shepard then tries to set course for Garrus' side quest in the Hershey chocolate system, only for Admiral Hackett to call again to say there's another hostage situation involving a bunch of rogue Jedi he needs her to solve for him. Surely Hackett must know how things went the last time Shepard tried to deal with hostages, right? Hackett's initial wording of the quest being nearby to Shepard's location causes her to nearly have a confusion-induced aneurysm over where in the Hershey system the quest is, before Joker eventually just flies her towards Garrus' mission to make her brain stop melting. Thankfully, having a bunch of hired goons to murder distracts Shepard for long enough for her brain to successfully reboot by the time she and Garrus finish shooting their way over to where Dr. Salian was hiding. With Garrus' revenge on Dr. Hair Salon now complete, Shepard rewards him by giving him the privilege of being the one who gets to go around unlocking every single storage locker on the ship, since I guess Tali was too busy having a panic attack to come along on the mission. She probably heard Rex complaining about the giant murder spiders we let go or something. With her unending need to steal everything not nailed down temporarily satiated, Shepard tells Joker to set course for the Hell Cactus system so she can go murder some crazy Jedi while attempting to avoid exploding any hostages this time. Several minutes of Joker trying to decipher where the hell Shepard meant when she said Hell Cactus system later, and the Normandy begins setting off for only for Admiral Hackett to call up again to tell Shepard that he also wants her to go to the Skillian Verge to negotiate a ceasefire agreement with the leader of the local raider group. First she trusts Shepard to not accidentally shoot hostages, and now he wants her to broker an agreement to not shoot at space pirates? I'm starting to think Hackett hasn't actually read any of Shepard's mission reports.
No, he definitely hasn't.
With Hackett's hopes now set up to be thoroughly burned to ashes, Shepard and her usual ground crew finally make it to planet Kohai in the Hell Cactus system to probably end up killing a bunch of innocent civilians like they were asked not to do. After stopping for a moment to once again admire the Mako's reality warping capabilities when it suddenly mass shifted to half its normal size, Shepard begins her usual pre-assignment ritual of looting the planet of all its valuables. After somehow managing to find 2 Asari Matriarch collectibles in some random shack, the group then head towards the next location of interest in the slowest way possible after Liara decided the best way to get there was by driving the Mako backwards the whole way there. Must have been her getting back at Shepard in the most passive-aggressive way possible for the way she chose to end their previous conversation on the Normandy. Eventually, Shepard makes Tali take over the driving so they can make it anywhere at a decent speed, just in time for them to spot what must be the single most obvious Thresher Maw arena in the entire fucking game after cresting a nearby mountain. With the Thresher Maw easily dealt with and the rest of the planet now depleted of valuables, Shepard finally remembers those hostages she isn't supposed to kill and drives over to the Jedi terrorist compound to probably end up killing a bunch of hostages. Before she can even utter the phrase collateral damage, however, the Jedi terrorists force-push Shepard so hard into a nearby wall that she ends up getting permanently dislodged from our plane of reality and is forced to hop over to a new timeline in order to defuse her molecules from the concrete she was stuck in. With attempt 2 not starting with Shepard getting permanently turned into a wall fixture the second she stepped foot into the compound, the crew quickly shoot their way through all of the Jedi terrorists and several of the hostages, but honestly, who didn't expect that to happen aside from Hackett? In just a few minutes, and the session ends with the crew preparing to return to the Normandy so they can set out for that quest in the Skillian Verge, only to end up stuck in the Mako's collision geometry instead after it warped reality once more to this time and end up no-clipping into Shepard as soon as the compound door opened. See? Like I said, we got ran over by the Mako at the end of the last session.
I'm going to have to go back and rewatch stream because I don't think that happened. I think Bio edited that. I'm putting on my tinfoil hat. Bio edited that in the 18 minutes it took you to read the rest of it.
Mass Effect is genuinely infamous for how completely inaccurate the dialogue prompts can be to what they say compared to what they actually say. Yeah, again, it's Fallout 4. It's the same problem.
Also, Mar says there's a cool quest on the Citadel right now about Shepard's backstory.
Oh, we can go talk about Shepard's mom, can we? That's interesting. We'll have to stop there at some point.
Also, Bayer says, no, I genuinely didn't change it at all. I believe you, Bio. I do.
I don't think she believes you. Also, yes,
But
Bio's right. I would have seen it if he was editing the document live, because it's a shared Google Doc.
Well, yes, but it's also actual pages of typing. So...
Alright, Skillian Verge.
Message coming in.
Patching
it through.
Good work, Commander.
What do you want, Hackett?
You took down the biotics with minimal collateral damage.
Did I? So... I'm so torn, because these wheels are never what I think they're gonna be. Sure, we'll go with the biotics made it hard.
Oh, baby.
I'm sorry we lost some of the researchers, Admiral. The biotics knew what they were doing.
Nobody could have gotten out of there with fewer innocent lives lost.
Are you sure about that, Hackett?
Saved a lot of lives today, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
Bio says there are some things in our inventory we should be looking for.
Okay. Scram rail weapon upgrade. And a frictionless material. Okay, I will check as soon as we get to the Stylian Verge. Which is like way off in the middle of nowhere, I think. Oh, wait, I'm still in the Hades Gamma Cluster. That's why I couldn't find it. Ada, Kepler Verge, Century Omega, Hades Gamma. I could have sworn it was out here at the edge somewhere, wasn't it?
I thought so.
Local, Exodus, Argus Row, Gemini Sigma. I really hate that only the main missions are actually marked.
Oh, didn't
on
you just go past it? You said it was in the Kepler Verge,
Kepler
right?
Verge, not the Skillian Verge.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were looking for Kepler.
Treaty in the Plutus system. BioWare. What the fuck, BioWare? Admiral Hackett has asked you to negotiate a treaty with a man named Darius in the Plutus system. The treaty concerns mining rights on an asteroid rich in element 0. You know, the Plutus system.
That's phenomenal.
BioWare, what the fuck?
See, when you first said BioWare, I was like, what are you? You're not actually asking Bio to tell you where we're supposed to be going, are you?
Plutus system. Gemini, Argus Row, Artemis Tau, Exodus, Horsehead. That's just the Citadel. That's the local cluster. Where the hell is the Plutus system? Century Omega, Armstrong Nebula, Kepler Verge, Atkin Beta Voyager. Okay, that has not cleared things up at all.
Oh, gosh. This map is just the worst.
I need to know what cluster it's in, or what nebula. Just telling me it's in the system doesn't help.
Showing, like, surely, even back then, show on map should have been an option they knew they needed to give. Like, I don't think it's unreasonable to ask for a video game with a massive map to show you where on the map. Okay, it's in the
Hades Gamma Cluster. Thank you, Space Google. It's literally in the same cluster we're already in. Okay, there it is. Cool. Found the Plutus system.
I'm actually really mad about this.
I literally just Googled Mass Effect Plutus system. And that got us to here.
The things we Google.
I believe we've already checked stuff here in the Plutus system, but just to be safe. Okay, so that's probably where the, Tosta Dazar is, down in Numenor, or whatever the hell that place's name was. Ah, no, we've not, because we hadn't surveyed chocolates here
Okay.
for some rare metal. And then there's Medina, which doesn't have anything. And Magneto, which has some rare elements. Awesome. Alright, so over to Numenor.
You say every time you say the name of that planet, I just hear Numa Numa, and then the Numa Numa dance starts in my head.
Okay, so oh, okay, so that's a weapon upgrade. Where's our pistol? Upgrades. Inferno round, sledgehammer, high explosive. Snowblind, cryo, incendiary, polonium, shredder, proton, tungsten, anti-personnel, chemical, hammerhead, phasic. Okay, so it's not among these. Scram rail. Plus 20% damage, minus 10% heat absorption. Minus 10%. So it's a 20% damage bump at the cost of having to reload 10% faster. I think.
I don't know, Bio hasn't put anything in chat about the why.
Unless that's like also increasing our heat absorption, but like it seems unlikely. Yeah, because like the heatsink is plus heat absorption, so surely that's minus heat absorption. But it is 20% more damage. But it's almost certainly better than just weapon stability. Okay, so here's a question that I've had for a while now, which is, if I put the sensor module on, like, I don't know, our shotgun or our, like, one of these guns we're never going to use, does it still count?
Bio says you can put the scanner on the R or Tali's active guns.
Yeah, I could. I'm just curious if I can drop it on one of these guns we're not holding and still have it, like, actually matter.
That's a great question I don't know the answer to. Mars says 42.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
But Mars is super insistent about 42.
It needs to be an active weapon. Okay. That being the case, obviously we keep Inferno rounds, because Inferno rounds is just damage. That lets us also, we were looking for a frictionless material, but I don't think we have that. Unless it's like for a very specific weapon type, because we certainly don't have it under the pistol ones. Then we want something that gives heat reduction. Or heat absorption. Or we just have, like, heat sink.
So Bio says it's not so much that he thought we had the frictionless materials, but that he was mentioning to look for them because they're heat reducing mods that also bump your damage up quite a bit.
Yeah, I was just looking for, like, literally a heat reducing mod that did anything in addition to reducing heat, but we don't have any.
Yeah,
so
Bio
that's
follows it up
unfortunate.
with that mod, and Scram Rails are basically the end game combo once you get your hands on them. Since the highest level of both being on still gives net positive heat reduction and a 30% damage bump.
I mean, yeah, that's good civ. Alright, so that's that taken care of. Incendiary explosives. Do we have a higher level of incendiary explosives than 6? No. Incendiary explosives it continues to be. All of these amps are fucking dog shit compared to our Savant. Awesome. And we don't get Omni tools. Right. Okay. Alright, now that our shit's settled, over to the Plutus system. So that we can go land on Numenor.
Again, every time you say it, I just hear the words Numa Numa.
So Numenor was like the main like kingdom of men in the like in roughly like the second age of Middle Earth.
Oh, so it's referencing that book series that puts me to sleep. Understood. Oh, I'm sure I just lost so much nerd cred in chat. But yeah, accurate statement. The Lord of the Rings actually literally puts me to sleep. Every time I've tried to read or listen to it or watch the movies, I literally can't.
Yeah, Willow has no taste.
Well, here's the thing. I remember Dad reading it with you at night when we were kids. But because you had a later bedtime than I did, literally I fell asleep listening to Dad starting to read to you for the night. So it literally is in my brain as bedtime anytime I hear it start. Rude, Mar? Mar says, okay, Inu, you have to burn your sister on the stake.
I know. She's a criminal. I don't understand how she life. Oh, the combat optics also give right. They also give accuracy. Where'd that kinetic stabilizer go? Put that back on. And then take the kinetic optics over your improved sighting. Or the combat optics. There you go. And I'm gonna drop one on Tali as well, just to make super duper sure that whichever one of them is actually in the party at any given time, because it's gonna be one of them at least, that we are set. Now then, what the hell's on this planet? And where are we? Is that us? That's us. There's an anomaly there, a Deborah there, and the Warlock's outpost up there.
And probably somewhere at an inevitable Thresher Maw.
I mean, maybe not. It's not like they're on every planet.
No, but we do have a fairly solid track record with running into them.
I mean, at least as long as you're paying attention, it's always like painfully obvious where they're gonna be.
Oh, They're not subtle.
You guys, I found a shipping crate.
Like, Thresher Maws are super easily predictable as long as you're paying attention, but, like...
Judging by the footprints in the ash, the two mercenaries were facing each other over the crate when they died. Both suffered single gunshot wounds after a rifle have a rifle close beside them. Alright, well, it's mine now. Hey, Matriarch's writings. Neat.
Bio says you should also probably throw one on Tally's shotgun as well, just to be on the safe side since you still have an extra radar mod left.
I always forget how to go to their equipment. Tally, shotgun.
And then Mars questioning how it's logically possible that Thresher Maws are on so many planets.
Hey, by the way, have some high explosive rounds on that shotgun there, Tally. That seems reasonable. And then combat optics and... I mean, it's a shotgun.
See, at the moment, Mar, my working theory for Mass Effect is that there's secretly... Because it's not like we've been to any, like, super hospitable planets, is that when a planet is reaching the tail end of its hospitable life, the Thresher Maw that just lives in the planet's core just breaks out of its, like, thermal prison and wreaks havoc on everything. I think every planet just secretly has a Thresher Maw in it somewhere.
Okay, ladies, you both using pistols like you're supposed to be? Good. I don't have to punish you like I did Rex.
Or Bio could give an actual answer, which is they reproduce by spores. Bio thinks so they'd get stuck into ships and end up getting carried all over the place.
So the Thresher Maws are plants?
If you believe Bio's probably actually correct idea, yes, they're plants.
Are they a fruit or a vegetable?
Mar liked my theory. But then followed up with thanks Bio. Mar never read the Codex entries, which reminds me, we haven't read the Codex in a while.
I mean, we hadn't completed a story mission in a while.
Valid point.
So before we go do the next one, we gotta catch up on all the Codex stuff.
Sorry, guys, if you thought progress was happening tonight. Somebody muttered the word Codex in chat, and now this is our life now.
Alright. To the warlocks, whatever. To the place. Punch it, Liara. But if you ever speak of that situation again, I will still end you. Don't forget.
No!
It's what you told her.
I was trying to let her down easy. The dialogue wheel's deceptive. I'm not that mean. Unless someone's given me really good reason to be, in which case I'm an insufferable bitch, but... I cannot be held accountable for anything super sleep-deprived, exhausted Willow did.
Rare element surveyed. Yeah, let's go. Back into the Mako. Push our way up here.
I'm not always sleep-deprived.
She is literally always sleep deprived.
am not. I get more sleep than you.
Yeah, but I'm not sleep deprived, and you are. Although I will be sleep deprived on Thursday. Like, good lord. Like, the stream Thursday night is gonna be... That's gonna be something, man. Because I'll have been up for, like... 17 hours at that point.
Why?
I gotta get up at, like, 4 a.m. on Thursday.
Grand Order, I assume?
Yeah. I got a roll stream to do right after maintenance.
You know, you could just wake up at the normal time.
Incorrect.
And do it then.
No. No, that's not correct. This one, like, legitimately very much matters. And also, as Bio said, that's not how that works.
Well, in fairness, Bio, from what Inu and I can tell, you don't sleep, period. So, what time Inu streams is largely irrelevant, because you're awake anyway.
No, that's not true. He sleeps from, like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 in the morning until, like, noon 30 or something. Usually.
That's just wrong on so many levels.
These guys aren't attacking it. Excuse me, sir, you seem to be pointing a gun at me.
Aren't we here to be diplomatic, Inu?
Yeah, and that guy pointed a gun at me. That's not very diplomatic.
They
of him.
haven't fired at you yet.
I'd hoped the Alliance would
Got
take this meeting
away.
seriously. Instead, they send me a woman.
Excuse
What?
you?
Use your assets to win concessions from me? According to your file, your only mark of distinction is that you stupidly got your own soldiers killed on Torfin.
I'm a Spectre!
Go to hell, asshole!
I'm not here to put up with your crap, Darius. Shall we talk, or should I just shoot you now?
You can't speak to me that way. You and your alliance owe me, Shepard.
Oh, you mean I can't speak to
see
you
this
the way
gun?
you spoke to me?
This is your gun. Your military set me up here, and now it wants to pretend it doesn't know me. But I know the truth. The Alliance needed me here, so treat me with the respect I deserve.
At least you actually understood that I don't sleep. Sarge legitimately thought it was just a bit until he tried sending me cat pictures at 2 in the morning a couple weeks back. Yeah, Sarge has trouble sometimes distinguishing between when I'm memeing and when I'm being serious, because I have the best
Very
poker.
thin line.
I have the best poker face
It's
in
a
the
very
world.
thin line.
Like, literally, I have the best poker face in the world when I want to, and you can't, like, there's no way to hear deception from me. Like, I'm very good at...
No,
like,
I operate on gut feeling when Inu tells me anything. Genuinely, if I go, that doesn't feel right, I'm just gonna assume Inu's lying. He could be telling the truth. Don't care. Does it directly impact me? Yes or no? And if the answer is no, I'm just gonna assume he's lying.
He does look like a version, loser version of a clone trooper.
Okay. What do I... So a part of me is curious about what he means. And a part of me
Yeah.
doesn't care. Because I'm offended. Me, Willow, is offended by this asshole. But we were also sent here to be diplomats. I am so torn.
Yeah, but they also sent a known war criminal to be a diplomat. I mean, clearly they were expecting murder. Just like Hackett was expecting civilian casualties at the last place, obviously. You were also sent on the previous mission to not kill hostages. Look how that turned out.
I am giving the screen the most serious I can't decide look I've ever given a video game ever.
Quick, maybe you can tell him we just want to be friends, and you'll tell him to go fuck himself if he ever talks to you.
I don't want to be his friend. I want to murder him.
Well, that's what you threatened Liara with when you said you were going to be her friend.
No, Willow, want to murder this asshole. Oh my god. You deserve nothing from me.
You want the respect you deserve, you piece of crap? Here you go.
It's called a gun. Oh, all right.
Yep,
Well,
it is in fact called a gun by the looks of it.
Now we're fighting now. Hello, sir. How are you? I see you up there. You know what that means? Lift.
Wait a second.
Uh-huh.
BioWare, did you really use almost the exact same name twice for ridiculous, like, racist, sexist assholes?
Excuse me, sir. 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 Fuck you and die.
Because his name is Darius.
Uh-huh.
And one of my other, like, rage-inducing characters in a BioWare game actually comes from EA too. And that was Lord Denarius, or Magister Denarius from Tevinter, who was also an asshole. Like...
Me, I'm just gonna singularity over there.
The good news is I think chat is on my side on this one. That murder was the correct option.
This is Shepard. Murder is always the correct option.
Disagree, except in this case.
Lady, where'd you go? I flung her so hard she ceased to exist. Hello? Hello? Are you upstairs? You're upstairs, aren't you? Show yourself, coward! I think I clipped him. Wherever he is. Up there. Aha! I see you!
Just gonna ignore those last two comments more.
No, you're not. Push. It's a shame there wasn't a bottomless pit there. It's always a fun combo, is to lift
I
them
will
and then...
destroy you.
Will you? You're gonna have to come over here if you want to do that.
Incoming!
Yeah, I threw a grenade at you. What you gonna do?
Here it comes!
Just throw fire grenades at him from little...
Okay, what does that say?
Any day that ends with one less crackpot self-proclaimed lord out on the frontier is a good one. You've earned your pay. Millions for defense, not 1 cent for tribute.
That might have made more sense if, you know, we hadn't just murdered. If we'd actually talked to the guy.
We did talk to the guy.
We didn't.
Yeah, we did. We talked to him.
Let me rephrase.
and
We
then
didn't communicate effectively with him.
No, that's incorrect. He did not communicate effectively with us. We were very clear that he had to back the fuck down, and he didn't. And now he's dead. That's his fault, not ours. We're Spectre. He did not respect our authority, and now he is deceased. As happens to anyone that does not respect a Spectre's authority. Yeah, I'm surprised I hit that guy with those grenades too, Mark.
BioWare Bio's response, you did talk to him, and from the few words you shared, you decided that, diplomatically speaking, the appropriate response was violence.
Precisely. Because Shepard's answer is always violence.
Not always in this playthrough. Like I said, I take morality on a very case-by-case basis.
I mean, at the very least, her response to admissions of romantic interest is violence. Or threats thereof.
Again, I was trying to let her down lightly.
Yeah, in the most Shepard way possible. Threatening bodily harm.
Not the goal. I won't deny it's what I did, but that wasn't the goal.
Yeah, Mars right. This playthrough also isn't canon. We didn't punch the reporter in the face.
The reporter did nothing wrong.
No, not the one that wanted us to do the illegal shit.
No,
for her, the
I-
other one. The one that was being super racist, and you let it go because you wanted good noodle points.
I don't think I actually got any good noodle points in that conversation
No,
either.
you didn't. But you let the reporter get away with racism because you thought you would. You sold out, and look what it got you.
Yeah, well, look, we hadn't been to the planet of infinite good noodle points yet.
Exit door opened. The exit door was closed? What? I feel like I definitely could have just left. Wait, what the hell do you mean exit door opened? Alright, well, whatever. We're done here. See you later. Yes, you didn't punch her because you were desperately trying to get more not get more Satan points, only to end up getting Satan points anyway for not punching her racist ass unconscious.
Yeah, can't win for losing in this game sometimes.
I mean, you had literally everybody, myself and chat, telling you that the correct answer was to punch her in the face. And you still didn't punch her in the face.
That seemed excessively violent.
She was racist.
No more than half the other assholes the game wouldn't let us punch. On the whole, this game's just not particularly nice to people.
That's like BioWare's calling card is racism for some reason.
I mean, fair. The
Like
elves and
if we're not
Dragon
being
Age.
racist against like Twi'leks for some reason, we're being racist against elves. And if we're not being racist against elves, we're being racist against
Everything.
well, every alien that's not, Homo sapien. Like, it's a problem. Yeah, so you need to take the punches when they're actually available to you. That's the lesson to be learned. Yeah, exactly. Always punch people when the game gives you the option. Except for Conrad. Conrad's cool. Don't punch Conrad. Conrad just wanted to be a Spectre until we told him it was dangerous and he might die. And then he's like, maybe I don't want to be a Spectre. On second thought, what if I didn't?
Message coming in. Patching it through.
What's up, Hackett?
I'm sorry that you were unable to negotiate with Darius peacefully. His death is regrettable.
No, it's
Nevertheless,
not.
The resulting chaos will create a power vacuum that makes future raids upon our miners unlikely.
Oh, the opportunity to call them out.
Yeah, you think I'm not taking it?
Yeah.
Here's your dirty secret.
You put Darius in power, but he was getting greedy. You
I don't know how I know this.
The Alliance does not condone assassination. We would never give that order. Killing Darius was your decision alone. And because you're a Spectre, we couldn't reprimand you if we wanted to. Thank you for your assistance in this matter, Commander. Fifth Fleet out.
Wow. He basically just admitted,
Yep.
Like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
you're right. We did that.
Sure did.
Like, going so far as to fucking thank us.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Wow, Hackett. Say I sent you there to kill that guy without actually saying go there and kill that guy.
Just... wow.
Yeah. We were fully expecting that guy to die.
And more accurately, like, the way that reads to me is we sent you specifically, not only because you're a Spectre, but because we knew he'd be super dickish to you. And
We
that
sent you-
negotiations would go sour.
We sent you specifically so that negotiations would fail and you'd shoot our problem for us, yes. And then we couldn't legally make you be in trouble for it because you're a Spectre.
Like, that is super scummy. Like, we sent you specifically because we knew there was no way in hell you specifically weren't going to kill this man.
It's less we sent you there to kill that guy and more I sent you there to kill that guy. I mean, yeah, true enough. Alright. Requisitions
Looking for
officer,
supplies?
what you got?
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Okay, we've got a Volvo X. Some heavy Scorpion armor, medium Krogan. Oh, this dude ain't packing any of the war crime shit today. You have disappointed me, sir. I demand more war crimes.
Jesus, like... that guy's awful.
Yes, Hackett actually does read our mission reports. Oh, man. That tea went down the wrong pipe. Okay, so we came we came back to the Citadel because ostensibly there was a quest to pick up here involving our mom. Ostensibly.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore.
XO, the
has the
Normandy.
deck.
Going out so I can move faster. The entrance to the entrance to the marketplace.
I am curious about the helmet you always wear, Tally. Does it contain technical augmentation?
No, living in the clean environment of the flotilla has weakened our immune systems. The environmental suits protect against diseases.
I suppose that makes it more likely you will return from your pilgrimage then. You are only truly safe on your flotilla.
This conversation is now over.
Yep. Super short, very brief conversation.
Okay, while we are in the general area anyhow... what's it? this way to the... Yes. Excuse me, Mr. Sir.
Hello, Commander.
I need supplies.
Show me what you got.
God, this fucking this guy doesn't have any war crime guns today either. God damn it. Does have a Metagel upgrade though. Yeah, I'll take that, thanks. Why is nobody selling the good war crime shit today?
I don't know.
Alright, let's head to the markets in the in the wards. Just to go check for new licenses there. The spot where you usually meet with Conrad. There was supposedly a license you missed there being sold by the Volus. Yeah, I was headed there anyway, Bio, so I will make sure to double check. Volus. Well, this guy.
Welcome back, Earth Clan. Will you be needing supplies for your return to the colonies?
Yes.
Show me what you got.
Most excellent.
I thought there was
I'm sure
another
you will
vendor
find
over here, but
something
like,
pleasing.
this guy just kind of didn't look like a vendor. Is really the thing. Ooh, another grenade upgrade as well. Yoink. And the Armax Arsenal license. Thank you, sir. Conrad's not here today. Yeah, it was probably Conrad's fault. Like, it was almost definitely Conrad that distracted me. Morian, don't suppose you have anything new
Hello
for
there.
me?
Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
Okay, you don't have any new stuff for me. It's fine, just wanted to check. The gun back out so we can move faster. This is such a weird decision. Like, every other game is like, oh, weapon draw and you move slower. Like, Fallout, Skyrim, like, you put your weapon away so you can move faster. Here it's like, no, let me get my weapon out so I can move faster.
Maybe. Maybe the logic is adrenaline rush with the gun out.
License he sold is for the other best set of armor next to the Colossus, which I believe treats the Colossus as raw damage reduction for higher shielding and biotic protection. Ah.
Commander, it is good
I
to see
would
you
like
again.
to buy some things.
Would you care
there,
to see
Mr.
some of its
Hanar.
Show me your items.
Oh, this one is pleased.
So first
to
I
do
want to
so,
double check
Hubert.
for licenses.
You will not be
Unique stuff. See, look, rewarded Metagel upgrade. Gimme. More Metagel is more better. Anyway, I gotta talk to you again.
Commander.
Show me your items.
Show me your upgrades.
Oh, this one is
please.
pleased to do.
Inferno round, kinetic coil, kinetic buffer, combat scanner, incendiary explosive. Damn it. I was hoping he might have some of those, like,
Super fun stuff.
slippery whatever they were that Bio was talking about. You know, the fancy bullets. He does have better Inferno rounds, but like, eh. Anyway, let's see if we can find Mrs. Shepard around here somewhere. There's that computer that we blew up that one time.
Greetings, Earth Clan. I believe congratulations are in order, Commander Shepard. You were the first human to join the
I have
Spectres.
to use the elevator to the wards? No. Okay.
Thank you.
It's a great honor.
One you are no doubt ready for. A word of warning, though. There are many eyes watching you now, Commander. Some of them want to see you fail. I, however, wish you only success. Perform well and you bring the Earth Clan one step closer to joining the Council. And if they let your people in, maybe there is hope for my own species one day, yes?
That sounds really condescending.
Goodbye.
If they let you guys in,
Alright.
then they have to let us in.
So we need to take the elevator to the wards. There's not one of those on this side of the station, though. Wait, Avena. Oh no, that's the VI. Yeah, the wards axis is all up there, right? Okay. Time to head across the bridge then. Humans do kind of suck. Not really any more than most other races, but we do still kind of suck.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely we do.
Let all races herald the glory of the Enkindlers who raised them all to enlightenment. Where there was only darkness, the Enkindlers gave light. Where there was only ignorance, the Enkindlers gave
Sitting
wisdom.
still for a minute to enjoy the preaching of the floating creepy brain thing that we allowed to preach.
I figured somebody should listen to him, even if only for a second.
A research station on Noveria has reportedly been destroyed. The exact cause is currently unknown.
Rachni.
Given the research conducted on Noveria, many are blaming the destruction on an experiment gone awry.
Well, that's one way to put it.
Menelaus currently faces criminal charges as a result of the disaster, although the nature of the charges remains unclear.
Menelaus was already facing charges
Yeah, I was about to say he was
that.
already under severe scrutiny. I mean, yes?
Hey, been a long time, huh?
It has.
Have we met?
Well, I guess you don't remember me. Lieutenant Zabaleta? I worked with your mother. We served on the carrier Einstein. Well, that was 12, 13 years back, though. You were just a kid then.
The Einstein, you said.
I didn't see her much that tour. The ship was on patrol most of the time.
Hey, call your mom up and ask. She'd remember old Zabaleta. She'd vouch for me. Look, I need a favor. I'm kind of short on money these days. I hate hitting you up for money, but a man's gotta eat, right? So, could you spare something? Maybe 20 credits.
I don't have 20 credits.
Yeah, I mean, we have so
I have
much.
1.9 million credits.
Yeah, like, I have no problem giving him money. 20 credits is fucking nothing. He's absolutely a drunk. But I kind of think it's going to be more entertaining to see where the story goes if we give him the money. Sure, why not give him the money?
Yeah, it's not a problem.
You're a good kid, you know that? Thanks. You ever want to come by and talk, I'll be here. Huh? Can't afford a ticket home, right?
I literally just gave you money.
Well, yeah, but it's gonna be more than 20 to go home.
Sure, but...
You ever just sit and watch people? You can learn a lot.
Is that it?
Yeah, I guess. Alright. Cool. I guess now we just go to the Normandy and...
Mar says check in on him later. Do at least another mission first.
Many think less of Quarians for traveling in the flotilla and for creating the Geth. They see us as scavengers, little better than thieves.
That is an ignorant opinion. Quarian explorers have uncovered more mass relays than any other race.
I am glad that some still remember
But the Geth are still,
contributions my people have made.
you know, unnatural menaces.
Yeah, we could... So we missed meeting Shepard's mom.
Oh, well.
Because if like we refused to give him money, we literally would have cross-checked him with mom.
Well, I thought it'd be more interesting to see what he ends up, what misfortunes he brings upon himself with said money.
With 20 credits.
Moreover, I just want to see what the game thinks 20 credits of money can cause in terms of trouble. Because, you know, we're rolling around with actual millions.
Hey, Commander Shepard. Good to see you again. Anything you need?
I have to go.
If you had anything.
You're probably real busy. Well,
Always, yeah. See you later, whoever you are. Officer Wang.
A research facility in the Hades Gamma Cluster was the victim of an attack by biotic extremists. The drugged researchers attacked Alliance soldiers, and the rescue operation became a brutal massacre. The research center is unlikely to reopen in the near future.
Oh, was that hostage situation thing we were sent to resolve?
Yes.
Well, you know. Also, Mar thinks that dude we just talked to is important in 2 and 3.
Are planning to resume operations on an asteroid rich in element 0. Raids by a criminal warlord had recently disrupted mining operations in the area. The warlord was subsequently killed, however, and infighting among his lieutenants has made future raids unlikely.
Oh, he was killed, was he?
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Do you want to maybe elaborate on what, you know, what you know, the handsome, beautiful Daredevil may have accomplished such a task single-handedly?
Stand by.
With the help of 2 other ladies?
In progress.
You know, after they were essentially accused of being diplomatic strippers.
Yeah.
Logged. The commanding officer is aboard.
I am sad that
XOXO
stands relieved.
I am sad that they don't give you the option to like
Pause the game and remove your clothing.
Right? Yeah. Like, where's the option to prove him right and like,
then murder him?
Right? You know, like,
because there, I will admit there's something of a power move in, you know, a game where the guy already had a gun pointed straight at you, of stripping out of all of your protective shit and going, you know, I can still kill you.
he was killed, and the power vacuum caused the other pirates to kill each other so hard while fighting for the throne that the raids just don't exist anymore, contrary to what Hackett told you.
So, you know, there's also that.
Looking for supplies?
Yeah, I gave you more, like, doohickey mabobs. Do you have more shit to sell me now?
You bet, Commander.
No, 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 no. Lucky I can't draw my gun on this stupid ship.
Oh, Nightmare.
Nightmare. Fine, I guess we'll go fly somewhere else and do... Well, I guess it's time to start reading the codex. Because, like, we're kind of...
There's a lot of it.
We're kind of out of side quests, apart from Zarpedon, or whatever his name was. Colonel Zarpedon.
Wow, Shepard, I can't believe you killed that guy. I definitely didn't send you to kill. You've made things so much worse for literally everyone. Guy who was obviously lying through his teeth.
Right? Alright, Codex. Okay, so we got some new stuff in non-sapient creatures.
After the Geth secure a location, they round up and impale dead
I feel
and
like
living
we
bodies on
had
mechanical
the husks
spikes.
already, right?
But it's telling us
The
there's
spikes
something new in
rapidly
here. It's
transform
probably a
the
later
victims
paragraph.
into withered husks,
Well,
extracting
the thing that's
water and
blinking
trace
is Thresher
minerals,
Maws.
and replacing them with
Oh, I thought
cybernetics.
Hanks was flashing
The
too.
cybernetics reanimate the lifeless flesh and tissue, transforming the bodies into mindless killing machines. Some Alliance soldiers refer to the husk-generating spikes
Hanks.
as
Hanks.
dragon's teeth, a reference to the mythological berserkers who sprang up from the earth wherever the teeth of the dragon Eris were planted.
Hey, if we have to go
Dragon's
kill
teeth and husks
Zarpedon, then
bear
maybe we
little
can get a
resemblance
fancy
to
shield
other
that'll make
pieces
our
of Geth
railgun laser
technology.
pistol even stronger.
No one is sure why a
But we don't want to
synthetic
kill
race
Zarpedon.
would
We
bother
just
to
gave him
drain the minuscule
$20.
amount of recoverable resources from organic corpses, though the value of reusing them as shock troops is obvious.
Friggin' Zarpederp.
Thresher maws are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating, or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia.
Good job,
Yet are
Bio.
robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, Thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a Thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the Earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, Threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered Threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer
We've
team,
been there, I think.
Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry Threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging Threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
Unless you have the ability to literally immobilize them.
Which
Which
for some odd
ostensibly
reason
we
isn't
have,
working.
but didn't work that one time.
Not that we've tried it since, I don't think.
The
But
home world and capital of humanity is entering a new golden age. The resource wealth of a dozen settled colonies and 100 industrial
theoretically,
outposts
I know what
flows
Earth
back
is.
to Earth.
Do you?
So-
I don't know
With
about
works of
that.
industry, commerce, and art. The great cities are greening as arcology skyscrapers and telecommuting allow more efficient use of land. Earth is still divided among nation-states, though all are affiliated beneath the overarching banner of the Systems Alliance. While every human enjoys a longer and better life than ever, the gap between rich and poor widens daily. Advanced nations have eliminated most genetic disease and pollution. Less fortunate regions have not progressed beyond 20th century technology and are often smog-choked, overpopulated slums. Sea levels have risen 2 meters in the last 200 years, and
Yikes.
violent weather is common due to environmental damage inflicted during the late 21st century. The past few decades, however, have seen significant improvement due to recent technological advances. Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution.
Wow, even the Codex is shitting on humanity. That's nice of them.
Pharos is a habitable world in the Attican Beta Cluster. 2/3 of the habitable surface is covered with the ruins of a crumbling Prothean megatropolis. In the millennia since the Prothean extinction, the ruins have been repeatedly picked over by looters many times. Pharos was considered a poor prospect for colonization, as little open ground remains for agriculture. The only sizable freshwater sources are the poles, which are tapped by the decaying Prothean aqueduct systems. The dead cities, while in good condition considering their antiquity, are of uncertain stability. Ground level is congested by a dozen meters of fallen debris, and the air is fouled by dust. In 2178, the Human Exogeny Corporation announced its intention to place a permanent colony on Pharos to thoroughly explore the ruins. The pioneer settlement was placed on the upper levels of several intact skyscrapers, using the surviving Prothean aqueducts and rooftop hydroponic gardens to support the population. Virmire is a lush world located on the frontier of the Attican Traverse. Its vast seas and orbital position on the inner life zone have created a wide equatorial band of humid, tropical terrain. Only the political instability of the region has impeded efforts at colonization. Many times the Citadel has opened negotiations to settle Virmire with various criminal gangs and petty dictatorships in the nearby Terminus systems. All fell apart due to internal power shifts within the opposing parties. The Citadel has written off the colonization of Virmire as impossible without significant political change. The Terminus powers themselves are unlikely to ever settle Virmire. Most lack the resources to support settlement of a virgin world, finding it more expedient to steal from their neighbors than build for themselves.
I mean, that does sound faster, yeah.
I was about to say, I hate to say it, but that does sound more efficient.
Of the rogue Spectres Saren. An enormous dreadnought larger than any other ship in any known fleet, it is crewed with both Geth and Krogan. At 2 kilometers long, its spinal-mounted main gun is likely capable of penetrating another dreadnought's kinetic barriers with a single shot. How Saren acquired this incredible warship is unknown.
Starforge.
The prevailing opinion is that Sovereign is a Geth construct, while others believe it is a Prothean relic. Its design, however, hints at a more alien and mysterious origin. The attack on Eden Prime demonstrated Sovereign's ability to generate mass effect fields powerful enough to land on a planetary surface. This implies it has a massive Element Zero core, and the ability to generate staggering amounts of power.
So, a more alien and mysterious origin. Okay. What is more alien and mysterious than the Protheans?
Arachni?
I'm not sure they're exactly more mysterious than a race that we know very little about.
I mean, sure, but even people who are traveling with us who are supposed to know about the Arachni, every time we encounter Arachni, are like, what are those?
They're just, they just keep, like, suppressing all memories of the Arachni because of severe arachnophobia.
I mean, it's the best explanation for why they're doing what they're doing. That doesn't mean it's a good explanation.
Well, What about those people the Bacon were talking about?
Welfare.
Like, if it's probably not Prothean in design, then it's probably Reaper.
Fair. Very fair.
Biotics. Mass relays are feats of Prothean engineering.
How mysterious could the
advanced
Rachni
far
really be
beyond
if the
the
galaxy at
technology
large
of
apparently
any
knows so
living
much about them that a
species.
bunch
They
of
are enormous
morons could
structures
clone the
scattered
damn
throughout the
things?
stars, and can create corridors of virtually mass-free space.
Its alien designers
allowing
definitely doesn't make it look
instant
like a really
transit
big
between
shrimp.
locations separated by years or even centuries of travel using conventional FTL drives. Primary mass relays can propel ships thousands of light years, often from one spiral arm of the galaxy to another. However, they have fixed one-to-one connections. A primary relay connects to one other primary relay and nowhere else. Secondary relays can only propel ships across a few hundred light years. However, they are omnidirectional. A secondary relay can send a ship to any other relay within its limited range. There are many dormant primary relays whose corresponding twins have not yet been located. These are left inactive until their partner is charted, as established civilizations are unwilling to blindly open a passage that might connect them to a hostile species.
No balls. Update. Bring down the sky. Human culture remain linguistically divided. Some converse in Spanish, others in Mandarin, Arabic, Swahili, etc. Every alien race has their own equally broad panoply of languages and dialects. Most individuals know only their mother tongue and rely on machine translation. Modern portable computers allow anyone with a few hundred credits of equipment to enjoy seamless real-time translation of alien languages, courtesy of handheld PDAs, computers, in clothing or jewelry, or subdermal implants. Without fast and accurate translation, galactic trade and culture could not... Ah. Boy, is this a product of the year it came out, where their idea of 200 years in the future was handheld PDAs.
Yep.
For a couple $100. Yeah, that's not a couple $100 though.
Yeah, I know, but...
That handheld PDA is like $1,000.
No.
On release date.
Even then, I don't think the pixels are that much. They usually run, at least with the storage amount I get.
Yeah, well, you're getting suboptimal pixels. Blatantly. Console races. Sorry. Wow, I misread that. Under Asari culture, I thought that said Asari railgun. I was like, what? What is Asari railgun? Hold on. Slihar been holding out on us. Because of their long lifespans, Asari tend to have long view, not common in other races. When they encounter a new species or situation, the Asari are more comfortable with an extended period of passive observation and study than immediate action. They're unfazed that some of their investments or decisions may not pay off for decades or centuries. Matriarchs can seem to make incomprehensible decisions, but their insight is evident when their carefully laid plans come to fruition. In interstellar relations, this long view manifests in an unspoken policy of centrism. The Asari instinctively seek to maintain stable balance of economic, political, and military power. Traditionally, Asari spend their influence through cultural domination and intellectual superiority. They invite new species of advanced development to join the galactic community, knowing that their ideals and benefits will inevitably influence the existing culture. Alright, the railguns. The pantheistic mainstream Asari railgun is Siari, which translates roughly as all is one. The faithful agree on certain core truths. The universe is a consciousness, every life within it is an aspect of the greater whole, and death is a merging of one's spiritual energy back into the greater universal consciousness. Siarists don't specifically believe in reincarnation. They believe that spiritual energy returned to the universal consciousness upon death will eventually be used to fill new mortal vessels. Siari become became popular after the Asari left their homeworld and discovered the ability to meld with nearly any form of life. This ability is seen as proof that all life is fundamentally similar. Siari priestesses see their role as promoting unity between the disparate shards of the universe's awareness. Before the rise of Siari pantheism, Asari religions were as diverse as their political opinions. The strongest survivor of those days is the monotheistic religion worshipping the goddess Athame.
Look out, they've got a knife?
Look out, they've got a knife. Like the Asari, the goddess cycles through the triple aspects of maiden, matron, and matriarch. Cycles? You know what? Let's not worry about it.
That's a lot of thinking I don't care to do right now.
Solarians! Before they joined the Citadel Council, the Solarians' most potent military tool was a small reconnaissance team known as the League of One. Their primary training was in espionage and assassination. Never more than a dozen strong. Should only have been one strong, but okay. The team was adept at infiltrating the tightest defenses and eliminating all necessary obstacles. Only a few top members of government and military were privy to the League's identities. League members wore no distinguishing garments and held no particular rank. The only evidence of their participation in the League was a small medallion presented to each member upon induction. This secrecy was maintained until the formation of the Council. In an effort to dispel rumors and appease their new Asari partners, the Solarian Union released all classified documents pertaining to the League. The League of One was suddenly exposed and in danger of being hunted by enemies of the Solarians. Before any harm could be done, the team mysteriously disappeared. Most assumed this was a convenient lie to help hide their identities, but a few months later, the inner cabinet was murdered. Though there was no incriminating evidence, it was clear who was responsible. Saren, but we chose to ignore that for reasons. Realizing the threat posed by this rogue outfit, the Special Tasks Group dispatched a team of hunters. When they didn't return, the STG dispatched 10 of its highest operators with broad discretionary powers. Only 2 returned. They reported no evidence of the League. No further incidents were reported, and it was assumed the League was wiped out. Some recently declassified documents, however, have suggested that they may have a 13th member who eluded the Solarian military. Is it us? Are we the 13th Solarian?
I mean, I've heard crazier theories.
Turian biology. The Turian homeworld of Palavern has a metal poor core, generating a weak magnetic field and allowing more solar radiation into the atmosphere. To deal with this, most forms of life on Palaven evolved some form of metallic exoskeleton to protect themselves. Their reflective plate-like skin makes Turians less susceptible to long-term, low-level radiation exposure. But they do not possess any sort of natural armor. A Turian's thick skin does not stop projectiles and directed energy bolts. Although the life on Palavern is carbon-based and oxygen-breathing, it is built on dextroamino acids. This places the Turians in a distinct minority in the galactic stage. The Quarians are the only other known sapient dextroprotein race. The food of humans, Asari, or Solarians, who evolved in levoamino acid-based biospheres, will at best pass through a Turian system without providing any nutrition. At worst, it will trigger an allergic reaction that can be fatal if not immediately treated.
Wow.
So don't offer Garrus chocolate. Understood. Garrus is a dog, confirmed. Turian culture. While the Turians are individuals with personal desires, their instinct to equate the self with the group and set aside group or personal desires for the good of all. Turians are taught to have a strong sense of personal accountability, the Turian honor that other races find so remarkable. Turians are taught to own every decision they make, good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians who murder will try to get away with it, but if directly questioned, most will confess the crime. Turians have a strong inclination toward public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile Volus as a client race, offering protection in exchange for their fiscal expertise. The Turian military is the center of their society. It's not just an armed force, it's an all-encompassing public works organization. The military police are also the civic police. The fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as the military facilities. The Corps of Engineers build and maintain spaceports, schools, water purification plants, and power stations. The Merchant Marines ensure that all worlds get needed resources. I feel like there should be more to that, but okay. Whoops.
It certainly feels like there should be.
Turians, military doctrine. Don't offer Garrus chocolate unless it's specifically Turian chocolate. Yeah, okay, fair. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, the skill of the Asari, and the virtuosity of the humans, the Turian military has formidable discipline.
Sorry, virtuosity of the humans?
Yeah, apparently. The Turians suck at everything, but they're very disciplined. Officers and NCOs are lifers with years of field experience. Enlisted personnel are thoroughly trained and stay calm under fire. Turian units don't break. Even if their entire line collapses, they fall back in order, setting ambushes as they go. A popular saying holds, you will only see a Turian's back once he's dead. Boot camp begins on the 15th birthday. Soldiers receive a year of training before being assigned to a field unit. Officers train for even longer. Most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Even if they suffer injuries preventing frontline service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for their exacting skills, Biotics' motives are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign their Biotics to specialist teams called Cabals. Command and control is decentralized and flexible. Individual squads can call for artillery and air support. They make extensive use of combat drones for light duties and practice combined arms. Infantry operates with armor supported by overhead gunship. Strategically, they're methodical and patient and dislike risky operations. Tradition is important. Tradition. Each legion has a full-time staff of historians who chronicle its battle honors in detail. The oldest have records dating back to the Turian Iron Age. If a legion is destroyed in battle, it is reconstituted rather than replaced. Reconstituted? Like, you gather up the pieces of it and, like, make new people out of it? The Turians recruit auxiliary units from conquered or absorbed minor races. Auxiliaries are generally light infantry or armored cavalry units that screen and support the main Turian formations. At the conclusion of their service in the auxiliaries, recruits are granted Turian citizenship. Turians, the Unification War. At about the time the Salarians and Asari were forming the Council, the Turians were embroiled in a bitter civil war, the Unification War, as it was later named. It began with hostilities between the colonies furthest from their Turian homeworld of Palavern. These colonies were run by local chieftains, many of whom had distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Without the galvanizing influence of the government, the colonists became increasingly isolated and xenophobic. They began wearing emblems or facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of other colonies, and open hostilities became common. When war finally broke out, the hierarchy maintained strict diplomacy and refused to get involved. After several years of fighting, less than a dozen factions remained, and the hierarchy finally intervened. By that time, the chieftains were too weak to resist. They were forced to put an end to the fighting and renew their allegiance to the hierarchy. Though peace was restored, it took several decades for animosity between colonists to fade completely. To this day, most Turians still wear the facial markings of their home colonies. As a point of interest, the Turian term barefaced refers to one who is beguiling or not be trusted. Not to be trusted? Probably is what you wanted. It's also a slang term for politicians. Because they're beguiling and not be trusted. Okay, extinct races. Yeah, we definitely had information on the protein beacon already. Prothean ciphers. The Prothean's beacon downloaded its knowledge into Lieutenant Commander Shepard on Eden Prime, causing confusing dreams and visions. While the imagery is becoming clearer with time, the meaning of the beacon communication remains elusive. It has been suggested that the Prothean data recording is highly dependent on a certain point of view, what Carl Jung described as the collective unconscious. Mementos? The cipher needed to comprehend the images implanted in Shepard's mind is the cultural knowledge of a Prothean, the archetypes, biological instincts, and common experiences universal to the race. Since the Protheans have been dead for millennia, it may be impossible to acquire this cipher. Just a small thing, but it's Palaven, not Palavern. Not really something that matters a whole lot, but I just figured... Like, it was really hard to tell from here if there was an R or not.
Yeah, you've got to realize
Like
that the distance Inu and I sit to the screen, sometimes words can be really hard to read.
Especially when kerning is a thing that makes life hard. Data disks. Despite all the evidence confirming the existence of the Protheans, little is known about their culture and society. From time to time, dig sites will yield new clues, but after 50,000 years of decay, little of value is unearthed. Recent research has focused on the discovery of Prothean data disks. On their own, they're frail and rarely found in one piece. Occasionally, however, an intact disk will be discovered within a console or reading device. To date, over 36 disks have been recovered, and a few of those have been restored to the point where researchers can begin analyzing them. Though it may be some time before scientists discover a way to transfer the data off the disks, they are currently considered the most tangible leads for learning more about the Prothean culture. The Prothean Mars ruins. Oh yeah, right, we did find like Prothean ruins on Mars. After 20 years of manned research outposts and nearly a century of robotic exploration, the European Space Agency's Lowell City became the first permanent settlement on Mars in 2103, named for Yuri Lowell, who murdered a bunch of people in cold blood. Within a decade, the United States and China had founded permanent settlements as well. The South Polar region of Promethae Planum developed a Bermuda Triangle reputation. Satellites detected intermittent mass concentrations and magnetic field shifts. In 2148, prospectors working near Deseado Crater discovered an underground complex, a Prothean observation post. The odd phenomena were generated by the operation and discharge of a Mass Effect core struggling to function despite 50 millennia of neglect. Earth was electrified by the news. Humanity was unequivocally not alone. While the courts battled over who owned the ruins, the Protheans, obviously, the international scientific community coordinated a massive effort to access, translate, and interpret the databanks recovered from the facility. The facility proved to be a biosciences observation post built when Homo sapiens were first evolving on Earth. While the motives of the Protheans were not clear, translated records indicate that the facility was in regular communication with automated observation platforms on Earth, or in Earth orbit, and on the lunar near side. The half-dozen Mass Effect spaceships found in the facility were presumably used for first-hand observation. Geth armatures are quadruped all-terrain heavy weapons platforms akin to the armored fighting vehicles of other races, like an AT-AT, basically. Geth being synthetic intelligence armatures are not crude vehicles, but intelligent entities capable of independent decision-making and learning. Armatures are equipped with heavy kinetic barriers. Their main cannon, mounted on their articulated head turret, appears to be a highly efficient conventional mass accelerator. It's capable of firing in anti-personnel and anti-tank modes. Some armatures carry drones into battle, presumably for reconnaissance purposes. Others host a swarm of insect-sized repair microbots. These Geth wall-clingy bastards. The Geth models, collectively dubbed Hoop Hoppers by Alliance forces, are electronic warfare platforms. They can project electromagnetic radiation across a broad spectrum as an offensive weapon. They can also perform cyber warfare attacks against the onboard computers of body armor, hardsuits, and weapons adversely affecting their performance. The structure of hoppers consists of an advanced and highly elastic artificial muscle material. This allows a hopper to compress its entire body for powerful leaps. Hoppers also have thousands of molecule-scale barbs on the surface of their hands and feet, which are used to cling to walls and ceilings. Hoppers are very difficult targets, leaping from one surface to another in rapid succession. The Quarians have no record of any Geth models similar to hoppers. This new morphotype must have been developed over the last 300 years by the Geth themselves. This is troubling proof that the Geth are continuing to move towards technological singularity. Experts in synthetic life are intrigued that hoppers appear to be even more organic than the baseline Geth. The identified subtypes of hopper have been codenamed Sapper, Stalker, and Ghost. It's basically an AT-AT if instead of a head filled with piloting stuff, it just had a server network hub. Yeah, basically. Krogan culture. The Krogan homeworld conditioned the Krogan psychology for toughness, just as it did the body. Krogans have always had a tendency to be selfish, unsympathetic, and blunt. They respect strength and self-reliance and are neither surprised nor offended by treachery. The weak and selfless don't live long. In their culture, looking out for number one is simply a matter of course. After their defeat in the rebellions, the very concept of Krogan leadership was discredited. Where a warlord could once command enough power to bring entire solar systems to heel and become overlord, these days it's rare for a single leader to have more than 1,000 warriors who are allegiance to him. Most Krogan trust and serve no one but themselves. This solitary attitude stems in part from a deep sense of fatalism and futility, a profound social effect of the genophage that causes Krogan numbers to dwindle to a relative handful. Not only are they angry that the entire galaxy seems out to get them, the Krogans are also genetically pessimistic about their race's chances of survival. Generally, not genetically. The surviving Krogan can see no point to building for the future. There will be no future. The Krogan live with the attitude of kill, pillage, and be selfish, for tomorrow we die.
That's awfully nihilistic.
Well, I mean, they do have, like, turbo cancer.
I mean, yeah. I'll acknowledge that. That doesn't make it not nihilistic.
Humanity and the Systems Alliance. As the human race expands its territory and raises the general standard of living, demand for industrial resources continues to grow. Many planets, moons, and asteroids contain a wealth of resources, but many systems have barely been charted, let alone thoroughly surveyed. Unmanned probes are one solution, but they're often lost to space hazards, unforeseen circumstances, or theft by salvagers. In recent years, AGE-5, the Alliance Geological Service, has offered bounties to private individuals or teams willing to perform mineralogical surveys on the frontier. This survey data is made publicly available to further corporate development. Due to the cost of travel and the dangers of operating on hostile worlds, it's rarely a profitable endeavor, unless your name happens to be Commander Shepard. Light metals. Metals with low atomic weight are often used in construction of spacecraft and vehicles. Heavy metals. Materials with higher atomic weights are used to construct equipment components. The platinum group elements are particularly useful. Rare earths. Most useful metals or materials in this category are radioactives or magnets. Gases. Various gases are required. Why is gases in lowercase and everything else is caps locked?
I don't know.
Gases. Various gases are required to support all known forms of sapient life. Some are commonly used as fuel. Yeah, I like it. You read through that, we've got light metals, heavy metals, rare earths, and gases. Stations. Gagarin Station is the largest deep space station built by humanity. A Bernal sphere designed with a 500-meter diameter habitable area. It was constructed beyond Pluto, nearly 80 AU, 1.2 billion kilometers from Sol. Or 12 billion. I can't tell if there's a period there or not. Probably 12. Moving crew and material to this location bankrupted most of the backers. Whoops. Gagarin was placed at the inner edge of the heliopause, the point at which the solar wind can no longer push back the interstellar medium. It was built to test the number of faster-than-light drive principles that theoretically could only occur in interstellar space. The station was nicknamed Jump Zero, as it was intended to be the jumping-off point for humanity's expansion into the galaxy. Shortly after the station was completed, the Prothean ruins were developed on Mars, rendering the entire effort moot.
12 billion, by the way, no dot.
After struggling to make a profit for a decade, Gagarin was sold to the Systems Alliance in 2159 for a fraction of its construction costs. The Alliance refurbished it as a research and training center for the recently discovered biotic phenomenon. In 2169, the Biotic Acclimation and Training Program was shut down, and Gagarin became a general research facility. Its remote location and international isolation from the extranet makes it popular for dangerous research, particularly in the field of artificial intelligence. Humans' first stable AI, the Alliance-sponsored ELIZA, achieved sapience at Gagarin in 2172.
They were so close to calling what one of our AIs is.
Alright.
That's so close to ALEXA.
Today, Gagarin Station has a permanent population of approximately 9,000. It's almost over 9,000! A plan had been proposed to make it move to the gravitationally stable barycenter point between Pluto and the Charon Relay, allowing it to serve as a gateway facility between the Sol and Arcturus systems. The high cost of safely moving its mass has delayed this indefinitely. Just get some corporation to sponsor it and lose most of their money in the process. That worked out well last time. New space travelers ask, what does it look like outside a ship moving at faster than light speeds? Part of the answer can be seen in a simple pane of glass. We've read this one. FTL drive charge. As positive or negative electric current is passed through an FTL drive core, it acquires a static electrical charge. Drives can be operated an average of 50 hours before they reach charge saturation. This change is proportional to the magnitude of mass reduction. A heavier or faster ship reaches saturation more quickly. If the charge is allowed to build, the core will discharge into the hull of the ship. All ungrounded crew members are fried to a crisp, all electric subsystems are burned out, and metal bulkheads may be melted and fused together. The safest way to discharge a core is to land on a planet and establish a connection to the ground, like a lightning rod. Larger vessels like dreadnoughts cannot land and must discharge into a planetary magnetic field. Go tell that to Saren's flagship. The ship passes the charge from the drive core to the exterior armored hull, then dives into the magnetic field. As the hull discharges, sheets of lightning jump away into the field, creating beautiful auroral displays on the planet. The ship must retract its sensors and weapons while dumping charge to prevent damage, leaving it blind and helpless. Discharging at a moon with a weak magnetic field can take days. Discharging into the powerful field of a gas giant may require less than an hour. Deep space facilities such as the Citadel often have special discharge facilities for visiting ships. Space combat. Combat endurance. Heat limits the length and intensity of ship-to-ship combat. Starships generate enormous amounts of heat when they fire high-energy weapons, perform maneuvering burns, and run onboard combat electronics. In combat, warships produce more heat more quickly than they can disperse it. As heat builds within a vessel, the crewed spaces become increasingly uncomfortable. Before the heat reaches lethal levels, a ship must win or retreat by entering FTL. After an FTL run, the ship halts, shuts down non-essential systems, and activates the heat radiation gear. Combat endurance varies by ship design and by the battle's location. Battles in the deep cold of interstellar space can go for some time. Engagements close to a star are brief. Since habitable worlds are usually close to a star, battles over them are frantic. Okay, general tactics for space combat. Shells lofted by surface navies crash back to Earth when their acceleration is overwhelmed by gravity and air resistance. In space, a projectile has unlimited range. It will keep moving until it hits something. That is generally how space works, yes. Practical gunnery range is determined by the velocity of the attack's ordnance and the maneuverability of the target. Beyond a certain range, a small ship's ability to dodge trumps a larger attacker's projectile speed. The longest range combat occurs between dreadnoughts, whose projectiles have the highest velocity but are the least maneuverable. The shortest range combat is between frigates, which have the slowest projectile velocities and highest maneuverability. Opposing dreadnoughts open with a main gun artillery duel at extreme ranges of tens of thousands of kilometers. The fleets close, maintaining evasive lateral motion while keeping their bow guns facing the enemy. Fighters are launched in an attempt to close to disrupt torpedo range. Cautious admirals weaken the enemy with range fire and fighter strikes before committing to close action. Aggressive commanders advance so cruisers and frigates can engage. At long range, the main guns of cruisers become useful. Friendly interceptors gauge enemy fighters until the attackers enter the range of ship-based Guardian fire. Without a U. Guardian with no U. Dreadnoughts fire from the rear, screened by smaller ships. Commanders must decide whether to commit a general melee or retreat into FTL. At medium range, ships can use broadside guns. Fire the cannons! Fleets intermingle and it becomes difficult to retreat in order. Ships with damaged kinetic barriers are vulnerable to Wolfpack frigate flotillas that speed through the battle space. Only fighters and frigates enter close knife fight ranges of 10 or fewer kilometers. Fighters loose their disruptor torpedoes, bringing down a ship's kinetic barriers and allowing it to be swamped by frigates. Guardian lasers become visible weapons, swatting down fighters and boiling away warship armor. Neither dreadnoughts nor cruisers can use their main guns at close range. Laying the bow on a moving target becomes impossible. Superheated thruster exhaust becomes a hazard.
I mean, to be fair, why would you be immediately adjacent to a superheated exhaust or thrust in the first place?
I mean,
that just seems like a bad place to be standing.
Starships heat management. Dispersal of heat generated by onboard systems is a critical issue for a ship. It cannot deal with heat. The crew may be cooked within the hull. Radiation is the only way to shed heat in a vacuum. Civilian vessels utilize large, fragile radiator panels that are impossible to armor. Warships use diffuse radiator arrays, DRA, ceramic strips along the exterior of the armored hull. These make the ship appear striped to thermographic sensors. Since the arrangement of the strips depends on the internal configuration of the ship, the patterns for each vessel are unique and striking. On older ships, the DRA strips could become red or white hot. Dubbed tiger stripes or war paint by humans, the glowing DRA had a psychological impact on pirates and irregular forces. Strip reactors are not as efficient as panels, but if damaged by enemy fire, the ship only loses a small portion of its total radiation capacity. In most cases, a vessel's DRA alone allows it to cruise with no difficulties. Operations deep within a solar system can cause problems. So, this is a weird instance where the military technology is actually less efficient than the civilian technology.
Yeah, that is strange.
It's just the military technology is used because it's less prone to being fucked over in the middle of, combat, but this is really fascinating that they've not developed something more efficient that's also safer. Alright, disruptor torpedoes are powered projectiles with warheads that create random and unstable mass effect fields when triggered. These fields warp space-time in a localized area. The rapid asymmetrical mass changes cause the target to rip itself apart. In flight, torpedoes use mass-increasing fields, making them too massive for enemy kinetic barriers to repulse. This extra mass gives torpedoes very sluggish acceleration, making them easy prey for defensive Guardian weapons, so torpedoes have to be launched at very close range. Torpedoes are the main anti-ship weapon used by fighters. They're launched from point-blank range in ripple-fire waves reminiscent of the ancient Calliope rocket artillery launchers, thus their popular nickname, Callies. By saturating defensive Guardian systems with multiple targets, at least a few will get through.
I'm sorry. Is there a colossal weapon used for mass destruction named Callies, affectionately.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm laughing, for context, and Inu and I think, have talked a little bit before about the fact that we kind of had a dynamic duo in a Pathfinder campaign, which was my blue dragon bloodline sorceress and his monk. You were going what, like Way of the Open Fist or something like that?
Yeah.
And they wrecked face. The rest of the party
Was there.
existed. They were helpful in roleplay, kind of, except Callie had the highest charisma, so she was usually the one talking to people, for mechanics reasons. But I just think it's hilarious that, because my Draconic Bloodline Sorceress's name was Kalianasa, it got shortened to Callie a bunch. So that these weapons are referred to as Callies for short, I just find it really freaking funny.
A ship's general area, defense integration anti-spacecraft network. I see why you've capitalized both the A and the R in area, but, like, really? You could have just called it Gadion? Gadian?
No.
Like, consists of anti-missile, anti-fighter laser turrets on the exterior hull. Because these are under computer control, the gunnery control officer needs to do little beyond turn the system on and designate targets as hostile. Since lasers move at light speed, they cannot be dodged by anything moving at non-relativistic speeds. Unless the beam is aimed poorly, it will always hit its target. In the early stages of a battle, the Guardian fire is 100% accurate. It is not 100% lethal, but it doesn't have to be. Damaged fighters must break off for repairs. Lasers are limited by diffraction. The beam spreads out, decreasing the energy density, watts per meter squared. I think that's supposed to be meter squared, not just M2.
I would assume.
The weapon can place on a target. Any high-powered laser is a short-range weapon. Guardian networks have another limitation. Heat. Weapons-grade lasers require cooldown time, during which heat is transferred to sinks or radiators. As lasers fire, heat builds within them, reducing damage, range, and accuracy. Fighters attack in swarms. The first few will be hit by Guardian, but as battle continues, the effects of laser overheat allows the attackers to press ever closer to the ship. Constant use will burn out a laser. Guardian lasers typically operate in infrared frequencies. Shorter frequencies would offer superior stopping power and range, but degeneration of local arrays and mirrors would make them expensive to maintain. And prefer mechanical reliability over bleeding-edge performance when lives are concerned. Solarians, however, use near-ultraviolet frequency lasers with 6 times the range, believing that having additional time to shoot down incoming missiles is more important. Lasers are not blocked by the kinetic barriers of capital ships. However, the range of laser limits their use to rare knife fight range ship-to-ship combat. Biotics possess extraordinary abilities, but they must live with minor inconveniences. Like having everybody forget their respecter constantly.
I don't think that applies to all biotics, you know.
The most obvious issue is getting adequate nutrition. Creating biotic Mass Effects takes such a toll on metabolism that active biotics develop ravenous appetites. The standard Alliance combat ration for a soldier is 3,000 calories per day. Biotics are given 4,500, as well as a canteen of potent energy drink for quick replenishment after hard combat. Another issue is electric charge. Electricity accumulated in Starship drive cores must be discharged, and so must the electricity in a biotic user. Biotics are prone to small static discharges when they touch metal. Unfortunately, human biotics also face suspicion and persecution, beginning with the popular misconception that they can read and control minds. Biotics symbolize the dehumanization of mankind to people. Philosophically or religiously opposed to gene modification and cybernetics, Militaries are the only organizations that always welcome biotics, offering them huge recruitment incentives. Come join us and we'll stick experimental technology in your brain and give you massive headaches for the rest of your life.
Look. Again, biotics sound just fine to me as someone who already suffers from chronic headaches and migraines. Like, I might as well get superpowers with it. And I'm pretty sure just about every other human on the face of the planet who suffers migraines would agree. Like, give me superpowers in exchange for these, please.
Let's see. The notification sounded like it was coming out of the speaker of a shitty toy revolver. Well, that's because it was muffled due to being in my pocket. So remember, all Jedi are constantly downing cans of Monster at all times so their brains don't turn off from stopping bullets all the time.
Yeah, fair.
Biotic implants and amplifiers only provide the potential to create coherent mass effect fields. Whether biotics can actually do that or not is largely determined by their training. Biotics must develop conscious control over their nervous systems, sending specific electrical impulses to the element zero nodules embedded in their nerves. They're taught to use their implants and amps with biofeedback devices and physical mnemonics. Specific gestures or muscle movements fire the proper sequence of nerves to activate a certain skill, like waving your fingers or twitching your nose, for instance. Kinetics Industries pioneered biotic training with the Biotic Acclimation and Temperance Training Program. Although BAT did not achieve the desired results, many techniques taught are still used today. Many human think tanks are trying to develop some form of biotic super soldier. Not that humans think tanks are trying to develop some kind of
Well, when you first started reading that, I'm like, wait. What?
I mean, look, this is the problem with not having emphasis plain in text in English, right? Like, the difference between human think tanks and human think tanks is not plain in text.
No, it's a subject of inflection.
Most are benign efforts to create more flexible troops. Others, less publicly known, are unapologetic attempts to create Nietzschean supermen. Oh, good. Okay, cool. We're done with the Codex. We did the Codex.
Good. And we still have almost an hour left.
Honestly, it's amazing that Karth isn't just a constantly jittering mess, considering. Many humans think tank! Alright, let's see. What's actually on the mission agenda here? Vermeer? No. Saren? No. Pharos. Okay, going to Pharos. Just go make sure we've, like, explored the Hercules bit of Attic and Beta before we head over to Pharos. That was a good hour of things I don't really need to bother writing down.
Yeah, we did just make your life a little easier for next week. So
you just gotta summarize it with Shepard studied for her history exam again.
Yep. Shepard studies for her history exam and thinks tanks!
Patching it through.
Normandy, this is Alliance Command. We're detecting your presence in the Attic and Beta cluster. One of our surveillance drones was gathering intel on Geth activities in the region when it was spotted and shot down. You need to go groundside and recover the drone's data module before the Geth find it.
Do you people not have any other fucking operatives? I am a goddamn Spectre whose entire job at the moment is ostensibly tracking down and murdering another rogue Spectre. What makes you think I have time for your menial tasks?
Because we've literally done everything in our power to avoid dealing with Saren.
Oh, I like the rings on the place we can go land on. I mean, yes, we do have all of the time not to. I mean, we've got tons of. I mean, it's not like Shepard actually wants to go deal with Saren. That was just a convenient excuse to call the council a bunch of racist dickheads and get a promotion that gave her, you know, immunity from the law.
And unchecked authority.
Oh, hey, by the way, Natsu, you gonna be, like, around in, like, an hour? Because we should totally finish up that ATO run from last night, just saying.
Also, hi, Natsu.
Ah, hell yeah. Right, down to Eternia! To Tales of Eternia. We must go. This is probably where those biotic, or where the drone that the Geth we need to prevent the...
Also, Natsu says surprise bonus stream ATO content, question mark?
Maybe. I don't know. Possibly. I mean, we're... What act? We'd hit Act 4, right? Like... Liara, Tally. Come on.
So, Natsu, weird real-life question. Have you ever actually seen any pictures of my little floof? I don't actually know if I still have...
No, and it's a crime!
I don't know if I still have an accurate phone number for Natsu.
Discord!
You're right. I can at least fix that on Discord. But yeah, I don't think I still
Also,
have...
his phone number has not changed since I've known him. Also, bio. Discord exists! Discord, exists. Willow, how do I send pictures?
Okay, let me see. Well, what's funny is I literally do that with Bio every week. Bio gets a billion pictures of the little floof. Actually, it's more like 5 or 6 most weeks. But let me pull out you.
Oh, fax machine.
I mean, it would work. Alright, let me see. Where's...
Back in my day, we used to have
There's
to...
Natsu.
Back in my day...
Oh, no, I did send you a picture of little floof. Mind you, it was back when she was still at the SPCA, but...
No. Must
Here,
climb.
let me send much more pictures of little floof, especially because she does have the color point trait, so she looks dramatically different these days.
No, we're being bested by this wall. I disagree strongly.
And scroll past all the vacation photos, except for the one of Ivy and Kisa having a stare off. Sleepy kitty. One sleepy kitty.
Boost. More boost. Oh god, crash into the wall.
And that's all Discord will let me send in one stretch.
Well, maybe you should have Nitro. Then you wouldn't have that problem.
Ouch, Bio. You're supposed to be on my side, friend.
Nonsense. I was my research department. Oh, do not backslide down the cliff.
Okay, time to scroll for more cat pictures.
Shit.
That's unfair.
Boost. Liara is having some trouble with this thing today. Tally!
Huh?
Tally, take over.
And I'll put some of Kisa in there, because why not? One.
Boosty. Suspicious. I know that I literally sent Bio a bunch of cat pictures a couple hours ago on Discord, but I just can't figure out a way to do the same thing for Natsu. Guess he'll just suffer.
Scroll quest I went to. What? I thought I had pictures of Ivy.
What the hell is...
There's her stretching to reach.
What the hell is this?
This. And...
Huh.
This.
We've got a floating Prothean ball?
Huh.
Recover it.
You know, if the colors were changed slightly, it'd be a floating Pokeball.
Alright, well, let's get back in the thing before we... Oh, that's Tali. Okay. Let's get back in the thing before we die of whatever the hazard is on this planet. Looks like a metallic sphere used to test lightning effect, right?
You have a mama kitty? I'm so out of touch with your cats, Natsu.
Look, they have new cats like every 5 seconds.
Have you guys just started fostering cats at this point? How many kittens were in the litter? Mama cat and littering kittens will temporarily home with us. Fair.
Time to turn that into a business. And, like, make all your money by fostering cats.
Hi, Sarge.
Oh, the wild Sarge appears.
Natsu says, I mean, yeah, Mama and the kittens put us at 10. Well, for me, the $1 million question is, how's Peanut? Is Peanut okay? If I had the money, I'd consider doing cat and board game tea shop / bar. That would be delightful. Peanut is amazing and still as cute as ever. Good. Well, now you should have plenty of pictures of Ivy and a few pictures of Kisa in there as well.
No.
I like the one where Ivy's stretching off the kitchen chair towards Jax on the floor. Or the one where she's riding around on my shoulder.
No, 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 no. No slide down. Bad.
A cat board game and tea shop sounds phenomenal.
Oh. Oh my god. This planet sucks, by the way. Like, how the hell were you supposed to navigate this place in the original version when you didn't have fucking Mako boosters? Because, yeah, these Go Fast boosters on the Mako, these are Legendary Edition. These are not in the original game.
Poor Hexbug. It is trying so hard.
Push more fire out of your ass, you little jackass. Alright. Made it up the cliff. Did a sick backflip.
Enu's non-community Discord for pictures of Natsu's cats. Well, mama cat and kittens. There it is.
Out of thingy.
It's in general.
Take cover.
Take cover? What are we taking cover from, Tali? Nothing. Okay. Tali got really worried about something for like 5 seconds.
I suppose I'll return the favor and put some more recent pictures of Vivi up here for people too.
Her sure is having a tough time of it today, isn't she? She hasn't drove this much mountain hopping since that time she made Tali throw up in her helmet. This is just more revenge on Shepard for telling her to never speak of romantic interest with her again or we'd shoot her in the face.
Again, not the intention. There. Some pictures of Vivi are also loading up.
Liara, if you ever mention this again, I will kill you where you stand. Somehow that equals, let's just be friends. Oh, Shepard.
Mommy is gorgeous, Natsu. That is a pretty cat. Oh, whoops, did not mean to play video while live streaming. There, fixed it.
Oh! Hold position.
Oh, yeah, that screams Thresher Maw.
Just gonna go ahead and save. Just in case.
On my way.
So, how did you end up with a... Was she pregnant when she came to you, or...
This is the
did she come to
surveillance
you
drone.
with teeny kittens in
But
tow?
where's the data module?
A monkey-like creature seems to have made off with the data module.
This will not be easy.
More specifically, it wasn't or I'll shoot you in the face. It was if you bring this up again, then you'll be meeting your mom again sooner than you'd think, which is way worse considering. Okay. I'm going to advance across this suspiciously empty plain towards whatever this is over here. And when inevitably a Thresher Maw happens, no one will be surprised. However, it appears the Thresher Maw did not choose to... Ooh, that's a lot of gold. That's gotta be at least like a 1 foot by 1 foot, or 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cube of gold, right? It's gotta be. Not as good as the same thing of diamond, of course.
No, but most people don't just give you that.
Monkey colony. Oh, shit. No, there's so many monkey colonies!
I mean, I will always be, on the subject of cats, I will always be suspicious of any mostly white kitten. Because Ivy was almost entirely white when I adopted her. Her face markings were really, her face markings, the tips of her ears and her tail were the only indicators that that she had any other color in her. And that said, I am now just like in love with color point cats, because
I agree. Having owned a, you know, like exclusively white cat for 13 years, they're sus as hell.
well, also that.
Search monkey.
What?
The monkey does not have the module. Search the monkey. The monkey does not have the module. 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 I just want to make sure I haven't missed any fucking monkeys here. Okay. I don't believe I've missed a monkey at this one. Yeah, I know the hazard level. Shut up. Okay, so not that monkey colony. Oh god, this is gonna be a whole
Black cats
thing,
are such
isn't it?
sweethearts, though. Every black cat I've ever met has a heart of gold. Metaphorically, before Inu gets on me about that.
Boy, the PS4 is just screaming
Oh,
every
it's-
time we're going across this open field.
It's exceedingly not pleased with us, that's true.
Can you imagine if I was trying to, like, make this go at 4K instead of 1080? The PS4 Pro will do 1080 or 4K.
Does your monitor, or
No.
does your... I was about to say, your TV doesn't, though, I don't think.
It does not. This is definitely a 1080p TV.
Meanwhile, Vivi continues to be just the biggest snuggle bug.
Double check these monkeys. Make sure.
Poor thing, though. I almost felt bad for her on vacation because I was the only person she could walk past without 100% having a guarantee of being scooped up into the air. And even I scooped her into the air 75% of the time when she walked by me.
She knew what she was getting into, and she kept making the mistake anyway.
She spent a lot of time in the air.
Okay. Not a monkey here that had the thing that we needed. Get in the damn car.
But she's a very snuggleable little Kit Kat. Sorry, Bio, not Kit Kat. Kit Kat's your cat.
Discovery. The monkey doesn't have the module.
Shouldn't it say this monkey, not the monkey?
No, the monkey. The monkey does not have the module.
Like, if the implication is that the module's with a monkey. Come on, Hexbug, you can do it.
I hate this planet. I hate this damn planet.
Why are the green planets always so much worse for getting around?
The worst part is I don't know if this is... I don't know if what monkey has the damn thing is random or if it's fixed. Like, I don't know if I could just Google which monkey has it and not have to, like, you know, fuck around going to all these sites, or if it's, like, literally always the last monkey you check, or if it's, you know, like, I have no idea.
Any insight?
I mean, I guess technically speaking, it is literally always the
going
last
to be the
monkey
last
you
monkey
check,
you check.
but like, I
But
don't know
that's
if
a
it's
semantics thing.
I don't know if it's scripted to be the last, like literally the last monkey. Like no monkey has it until you've checked all of the monkeys. Is what I
That
mean by
would be
that.
a massive dick move. Although, given it is BioWare, I wouldn't be surprised.
Bounce.
Oh, ouch.
It's fine.
That is.
Discovery. The monkey does not have the module. Just thought you ought to know.
Oh, boo. Boo, Natsu. So Natsu made the comment of that last landing rocked.
Get out of here.
Boo.
Hold on. Can we shortcut this by just assuming that none of the monkeys have the module, and we just have to come into this place and, like, get it out of here? I'm going to assume it's actually in here.
Oh, there are more monkeys.
There's more monkeys! The monkey did not have the module.
That was a little extreme, wasn't it?
This is why you humans have such a violent reputation.
I was not expecting that to work.
No, neither was I. But I love that the companions both got mad at you for it.
I was not expecting that to work at all. We got renegade points for it.
Wait, did we really?
Watch. Oh, it didn't do it that time. The first time, a little pop-up was like renegade +5.
What? The actual... Fuck. Also, you're a monster, Inu. Only you could discover that, because who just randomly pulls a gun on an innocent space monkey that's done nothing to you?
It did do something to me.
It didn't have a module.
It didn't have the modules.
That's not the end of the world, you monster. Bio, really, Shepard? Again, was the beetle count not enough for you?
I wasn't expecting to actually be able to shoot the monkeys. Oh my god. Cryo containment cell. Okay. The cryo will not be containing any cell today. Alright, where are... See, the thing is, it's a lot easier to know what monkeys you've checked when the monkeys you've checked have been evaporated.
Salient point, but, again...
I'm not saying I'm going to eliminate every monkey, I'm just saying it's a lot easier to tell which ones you've checked already when they're not still wandering around.
Bio, they're living creatures and the game let you point your gun at them. What did you think? They were going to just magically turn out to be holograms again like that guy on Novaria?
I mean, maybe. That guy in Novaria certainly didn't give a shit about our guns. Also, I literally did not register that it actually let me put the crosshair over them with the gun not being up. Like, I saw the crosshair on it, and I assumed that the gun was lifted, because, you know, that happens. Like, if I point it... Well, not Tali. I wonder if that's actually hitting her shield. Interesting. Where the fuck is this goddamn probe? There's gonna come a point in this where I'm just so sick of looking for this damn probe. I'm just gonna be shooting every monkey on sight. Just to try and find this stupid probe faster.
I was gonna call you on it, but you noticed and corrected before I had the chance to interrupt Inu.
Yeah, Will, how you feeling about Ashley these days?
I mean, she's started to show the racist side. I still don't think she's the monster everyone else seems to think she is. So I'm sure there are more scenes I just haven't seen with her yet.
Ashley is literally worse than Hitler.
Joker, could you please come and pick us up? The commander has seemingly lost what little was left of her mind and has begun executing the local monkey population and is now shooting at us, too.
I mean, they keep walking in front of my guns. What did they think was gonna happen?
You're the monster that literally never puts their gun away if they can help it.
I move faster with it out. It's not my fault. The monkey doesn't have the module. He dropped the data module.
Is still intact. Your pilot should be able
Don't you dare! You leave that monkey alone. I will literally take the controller from you.
You, sir, you get to live.
Don't leave the monkeys alone. They've done nothing to you. You have your stupid module. Just get over it.
Quick, shoot it. It stole the module.
Not soon. You're not helping.
It was this one, right?
No, leave the monkey. I mean, they look like a weird cross between raccoons and monkeys, but leave the monkey, in air quotes, alone. Don't. Inu. Seriously,
What if
don't.
I just singularity the monkey?
Do not space wizardry the innocent monkeys.
See ya. What the? Red?
It's just...
What? Whoa! Hey, the Geth are here. Sir! Get off my face! I can't believe these Geth killed all these poor innocent monkeys. Tali, Liara, and these Geth, they killed the monkey.
You monster! Using the Geth as an excuse to murder monkeys. You absolute monster.
I did no such thing. These Geth killed all the monkeys.
You did not! You killed the monkeys.
I killed 2 monkeys.
You know you're responsible for mass monkey murder.
I killed 2 monkeys. One on accident, and the other because I thought it would give us more renegade points so you could see the renegade points.
Think we're good, Commander?
I've not killed another monkey apart from those 2.
Thank you, Bio. Bio says, oh, I get it. Shepard isn't going to shoot the monkeys. The Geth are. And by Geth, I mean that Shepard is now going to shoot all the monkeys and just blame it on the robots.
I will say, I didn't see monkeys running around that room anymore. I think the Geth did kill the monkeys that were in that room.
Had you? I literally started talking about it with Inu as soon as Inu made the point of, oh look, the Geth killed the monkeys. But there's also a delay between Inu and I talking in chat, but...
He dropped the data module, Commander. Please stop shooting them now, for the love of God. Shoot the explosive next to the monkeys. The Geth were actually here to shoot the monkeys. They didn't like that you were stepping on their toes.
Commander, I was reading your most recent report earlier, and I just What does no more monkeys jumping on the bed even mean? You really just had to be there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, God. Yeah, look, I know there's a hazard. Here's the problem. The Normandy's all the way over here. Or the... Not
Hexbug.
The Hexbug. I assume we're just going back to the Normandy now, right? Assignments. Homeless man. Yeah, okay, we're just done. Alright, back to the Normandy.
One fell off and got shot dead. Oof.
Alright, Hackett. Do you need to debrief me on the... No?
No?
That I am shocked that you did not feel the need to debrief me.
He's still processing the monkeys you slaughtered for no reason. He's still questioning his sanity and the council's decision to specterize you.
You're just going back to the Normandy now, or you'll be silently judged by everyone there except probably Ashley. I'm genuinely surprised that we didn't realize we could kill the monkeys earlier by accidentally running one over with the Mako. Like, I think that's part of why I didn't expect them to die, because I figured I would have accidentally killed one with the Mako already. But evidently, we're just that good at driving the Mako that we didn't touch the monkeys.
Shepard, I know I literally sent you to assassinate a guy for me a few hours ago. The fuck?
I thought you needed the monkeys assassinated, sir. The last mission you sent me on was an assassination mission, so I assumed these monkeys were war criminals. Like, after, like, Shepard literally accidentally killed that first monkey, but then, like, is now just trying to cover it up so she doesn't look incompetent by making herself just look like an angry sociopath instead.
As if she... Angry might not be the word I use to describe her all the time, but sociopath certainly is.
I mean, yeah, what other kind of person would attempt to tell somebody they wanted to be friends by telling them that they would make them join their dead mother if they ever brought up romantic feelings for them again?
I am so angry about that.
Not right now,
I literally was trying to pick the least upsetting option, and the option was literally, we can still be friends, was what the wheel said. And it's like, I'm sorry, did you just threaten to kill her? The actual fuck is wrong with you, Kate?
That took both of us. We're like, excuse me, what?
Did they just mislabel the buttons or something? Like, flop the bad and the like, friend zone-y ones? Like... Okay, gonna dip out. Currently uncertain if more coffee needed or sleep.
Well, I mean, it's not... You've got, like, I don't know, 8, 9 hours, 10 hours until you're actually supposed to go to sleep. Aren't you?
Yeah, I was about to say, doesn't your work shift start?
He doesn't work Mondays.
Ah, okay.
But, like... He probably should still not be, like...
Breaking
breaking
habit.
His sleep cycle.
Yeah, circadian rhythms are important.
Yeah, circadian rhythms are, like, useful and stuff. Oh, if you thought the friendly option was bad, then I'm sure the actual jerk-ass option would have probably been Shepard actually pulling a gun.
Equalizing interior pressure with
XOXO the Normandy.
atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore.
XOXO
Past
the Normandy.
deck.
Done.
Have increases in Citadel traffic endangered our safety? Emily Wong offers an inside look at the dangerous world of space traffic control.
Jerk ass option. Roses are red. Poems are fun. Get in the van. I have a gun.
Natsu, it worries me that you can just come up with that.
You're just mad that you don't have the creative talent to come up with something like that yourself.
I mean, a part of me is envious of that, yes, but I really don't want my brain going that dark.
Show me what you got.
Oh my god, why will nobody sell me war crimes today? Oh, another grenade upgrade.
They heard about what you did to the monkeys and have decided not to make you more powerful.
I don't know, he gave me more grenades. I swear to God, sell me more war crime guns! You're lucky I can't actually use these damn things on you.
I appreciate the pause there, Bio.
It's fine, well, your brain is clearly too busy being traumatized to actually articulate something as creative as what Natsu just said. Okay, we need to go to Presidium location wards access.
I mean, every now and then, Natsu, I still flash back to the parody of Do You Hear the People Sing that you wrote while driving through a blizzard to get to Sergeant L's wedding.
Hold on, where? Oh, sweet. That literally puts me right outside of where I need.
And I sincerely hope you wrote it down somewhere, because legit, that was brilliant.
Alliance officials report
probably in my
Geth
Skype
intrusion
history
into the
somewhere.
Armstrong cluster has been repulsed, with the Geth suffering heavy casualties. In the event of future Geth activity, the Alliance plans to maintain a strong security presence in the area.
I remember bits and pieces of it from what I heard.
Oh,
It also shows up on FB Memories every year.
Yeah, wasn't I was gonna say it was either on Facebook or it was in like. All right, Zarpedon.
No Patarians coming.
What? I did a mission, you bastard. Do something with that 20 credits, damn you. Wow. I guess plot really is the only thing we can do at the moment then. Fair enough.
Alliance officials have raided a dangerous cult controlled by a former Alliance officer, Major Kyle.
We did that a forever ago.
Major Kyle surrendered and is now being treated for severe post-traumatic stress
Ah, yes. Surrendered.
Surrendered might be a...
Surrendered. Forcefully at gunpoint. Hey, Major Kyle, you're gonna give up or I'm gonna kill literally everyone in this building.
Bio says, I'm half surprised the elevator news report wasn't local monkey population found dead via mysterious circumstances. More news at 11.
That'll be ridiculous. Wards location, CSEC. Again, technically only 2 monkeys died.
Then you threw one in stasis just because you could.
Again, it wasn't like the monkey itself wasn't actually targeted. I kind of like the way that those, powers end up working out, right? Like, is they pretty much never work unless you actually have a targeting reticle, like the little red outline thing at the time, because that's like what they lock onto. And that wasn't there for the monkey.
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors
Eden Prime
for future projects.
Technically, only 2 monkeys died. Yes, according to the official reports that Shepard wrote.
Enrollment has dropped sharply. Many colonial proposals are on hold until backers have some reassurance that human colonies will be adequately protected.
Technically, only 2 monkeys died by Shepard's hand. Just because Shepard may have delayed killing the Geth slightly longer than she would have otherwise done, so the Geth could exterminate a bunch of monkeys.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress. Logged. The commanding officer is aboard.
XOXO the Normandy. Well, I'm glad that Presley stands relieved. Good for Presley. Alright, to the galaxy map. To the Argus, no, not Argus Row. Anakin Beta, yes. And then to the Pharos system. Technically, only 2 monkeys died by Shepard's hand. I can't say the implication of specifying it in that way does much to help here. So far, I'm remembering he started with
Those are the bits I distinctly remember as well.
Okay, there's Pharos.
I think the line after voice is also low. It was something about going to a city where you might be killed by snow.
Wow, Pharos is pretty self-important, isn't it? Because like it's the planet of Pharos in the Pharos system. At least it's not the Pharos system. Planet Pharoseed. Close enough. So, we've not gotten a level.
I mean, to be fair, half the stream was Codex.
Yeah, but like, how funny would it have been if we leveled up from killing that first accidental monkey? Like,
I wouldn't have been. I'm glad we didn't, because I wouldn't have been able to stop the mass monkey genocide if we actually leveled from killing a monkey.
It would have been hilarious if, like, it was like, because the first one died. We both just like recoiled in shock for a second. Could you imagine if it had leveled us up at the same time? Just be like, congratulations, you've leveled. Codex, I want information on these monkeys, by the way.
I'm sure the Codex isn't going to give you any information on the monkeys you slaughtered, aside from maybe species status endangered.
Now, where's my monkey slaughtered statistic?
Okay, in all seriousness, though, bunnies slaughtered is my favorite statistic in Skyrim.
And is the reason I kill every bunny I see in that game on sight. I'm like, listen, I need my number to be bigger. You don't understand. Okay. Just gonna, in case one of us missed something while we were... Inferno Rounds 9. Okay, we don't have anything better than Inferno Rounds 9 yet. Do we have a better scram? No, we don't have a better scram rail.
Oh no, I absolutely appreciate your memory, Natsu. I'd been debating making the joke that between the two of us, we had collectively one accurate memory of the thing. But no, like I've said, it's one of your like song / joke / memes that's literally always in my head, like in the back of my brain somewhere. Like, that one just lives there.
I exploded now. Still don't have a better incendiary explosive. We're still not gonna beat our. Yeah, we're still not gonna beat our like wicked ridiculous amp. I don't believe. Yeah, I've not found any new armor.
Well, aren't we using super armor anyway?
Well, yeah, but ablative coating is just 15% damage protection. Ah, energized plating is 18% damage protection. That's better. And that's plus smash damage and physics threshold. And 25 and hardening. I don't know if like combat exoskeleton, like it's lower smash damage and lower physics threshold, but also gives hardening.
It's occurring to me in light of like my conversation through chat with Natsu that I'm not entirely certain I remember where I put my my shovel at the end of last winter. I should probably start looking for that, just so that I know where it is.
A third of the stream hit was Codex. If it had actually been half, then Shepard would have ended up killing far more of those monkeys out of sheer frustration than she actually had. Alright. Well, I think rather than topping down to Pharos and starting whatever the hell is going to happen down there.
Oh, inevitably there's going to be cutscenes and...
We're close enough to the end of stream anyway, so what I am going to do is call it here, and next week we're going to pop down to Pharos and do the Pharos... Actually, before we close off... Oh no, I think we have to actually land on Pharos first, but I will double check. It might just be because we're here on the planet.
Bio says, just a quick note, it's not lowering smash damage, it's increasing the amount of damage you do with melee attacks.
Oh. Interesting. I mean, the physics threshold, though, is really the thing that I was caring more about than the smash damage, honestly.
Also, Natsu's reminding you bonus stream in all capital letters.
Yeah, but, like, that's on a different computer, and I have to stop this one anyways, so... Wait, did I just... That was not the elevator I wanted. I was checking to see if the locker had refreshed. Because from what I understand, it does it three times. It refreshes 3 times. It's like available the first time you get on the ship. Then it's available when you land on Noveria, when you land on Pharos, and when you land somewhere else as well. But I think it might be after we actually, like, land on the planet. Like, I think we have to go down to the surface and then come back up here, and then it's available. Because it's clearly not available now. So, anyway, we're going to call this here, in, like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes or so when I get shit set up on a different computer. We'll probably have a little ATO bonus stream because there's a really kind of interesting game in progress that Natsu and I started last night at, like, I don't know, fucking 1 in the morning or something.
Well,
so
if you want company in Inu's chat while you wait for him to get stuff set up and transferred over between computers and all that, if you want to actually experience the very, very short drive between my house and Inu's, I can pop in long enough just to say hi in voice chat.
Well, I mean, it was 3:30 by the time we were actually quitting. Natsu, like, That's true. So
because I know you've heard Inu and I quote unquote joke about it before, but the longest part of the drive from my house to Inu's house is starting and turning off the car.
No, it's going around. It's doing the Yui to get back around the block.
Well, especially because I have to go down one of the other side streets tonight because I have to park opposite.
Oh, gross.
So
gross.
So I actually have to take one more side street than usual tonight.
I mean, at least you're allowed to park on your street again. That's nice.
That is true. Technically the weird parking hours are still a thing though, so I have to leave for work more than an hour before I'm actually allowed to go into my office tomorrow.
Gross.
So I'm just gonna go to a chain coffee place and get something to drink in the morning.
Chain coffee. Irony.
Well,
the irony of that is incredible. Hey, anyway, till next week.
Catch you guys next time.